Hello, everyone. This is Andres Restart, and I'm joined by my friend ATB. Attack the Backlog. His channel should be linked in the description below. It's been a while since we've done a live stream, but I think we have material to do a live stream tonight. Some pretty good material here. My streaming software has done another update, which means I'm figuring stuff out on the fly.
Hate them. Hate updates.
The audio. It really bothers me with just updates in general. Like, the idea behind updates, you would think would be to make it better.
Yeah.
But oftentimes it makes things worse. Or
Make it easier.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? But now I don't know how it works. I have to figure it out again. In some cases, the feature's just gone. Anyways, so now there's like a new sound thing. And I don't know if this means that it's putting all the audio at 50% or not.
Right.
So just let me know how things looking at, or hopefully it looks fine. It looks fine to me, but I can't tell how it sounds to you guys.
On YouTube, yeah.
Also I'm like partially deaf in one ear right now. It's a temporary earwax thing. It'll be fine. But right now my hearing is slightly impaired, so that makes things a little harder. Anyway, so just let me know if things sound okay. If I need to make things louder or quieter, please in the chat let me know now while we're still early on in the stream. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Having hope, thank you. Always one of the first. Everything looks and sounds great. I appreciate you. Thank you. Connor,
Awesome.
thank you. Thank you for letting me know everything sounds good. That's good to hear. I gotta do a victory lap. Gotta do the victory lap. Apparently, I'm not so crazy after all.
That's it. I thought of you straight away.
Listen, I don't want to pretend like I'm the only person that thought about it, but I definitely was like, guys, it's not a backpack. It's not a motorcycle. I'm just looking at it with my eyes. Last I checked, my eyes are not impaired. My sight is not impaired. Right? Maybe my hearing, but my sight is not impaired. And what I saw is what you see, and Nintendo has confirmed it. For those that don't know, yeah, Star Fox has been confirmed to be in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. This is 100% official information. There's no debate. This is the Super Mario Galaxy site. The Twitter site has revealed the official poster. Here, I'll share it here real quick in case you missed it.
Awesome. Yes. Let's have a look.
It's a great poster.
Did it leak? Someone said like it leaked yesterday. Is that true?
Yes, it did.
I did not know that.
It was only in small circles, I was aware of it.
But just Fox, right? Just Fox McCloud. None of the other crew.
No one else has been confirmed yet.
Yeah.
No one else has been leaked either, for the record.
Yeah.
Just Fox.
Such a good poster.
And I do gotta think that Peppy, Slippy, Falco, I imagine they have a chance of being at least referenced in some way. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think they're gonna play a significant role in this movie. Like, for example, Donkey Kong was featured in the first Mario movie, right?
Yeah.
Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong were there, but they weren't like talking, you know. Cranky Kong did have a role though, so I wouldn't be surprised if like we hear from Star Fox's comms, like Peppy or something. I think they're going to be referenced. I don't know if they're all going to have one big scene together. They might, but the only character from Star Fox I expect to have significant screen time is Fox McCloud.
Yeah, and we don't know who's voicing him, right? We don't know that yet.
I've seen like 3 different reports of 3 different voice actors.
I think I've read one. Which did you read?
Let's see.
I came across
Variety.
one earlier,
Variety reported one. Variety. I can find you all the reports. I just need a minute because I don't know who to trust. So.
Oh, someone says it's Freddie Gibbs. Says Ansel. Hi, by the way, chat.
Was that reported by Variety?
I don't know. I don't think that's the name I heard either. Having Hopes wants to know who's voicing him. Yeah. Yeah, because
okay, so according to Variety.com, Freddie Gibbs is going to be playing Star Fox, but I saw was it Daniel RPK reported that it's going to be. I don't want to get the name wrong, so let me just double check before I say anything else.
No.
I forgot that I'm showing tabs here. Which tab am I even sharing? I'm showing this one. Let's stop sharing from one. Okay. So the other one was if I search this, it'll come up. Daniel RPK Star Fox. No.
Is that implying that they've heard some voice acting, or they've just been told? They've just found out somewhere.
DK.
Because it's been a bit weird to show the poster and not say who's voicing him, and they make such a deal about. I don't know. I find it a bit weird. But then we're only what's the day? 25th, 26th. We're like 5 days away from the film coming out. So like maybe they just don't mention it, but I find that a bit weird. I thought they put it at least in the tweet or something.
Well, I mean, we knew about Yoshi for a while before they announced the voice actor.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Was it Channing Tatum?
What, with Yoshi? No, it's matey, what's his name? Glover from Community.
Or I don't know. Anyway,
Child Gambino.
I feel like we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, we're not just talking about Star Fox tonight, but Star Fox is a key piece to tonight's conversation. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about multiple interesting tweets from different insiders. One of them is Nate the Hate. He's putting out a podcast tomorrow. Some people who are members of his channel know what the topic is about. I don't want to spoil it because I have been educated on what the topic is, but I'll just say that there's only so many things that Nate the Hate will make a podcast on, and the topic itself, the subject matter itself, does not confirm what is going to happen in the not so distant future. But put it this way, I'm going to be watching it when it comes out tomorrow. So you know, it's definitely Nintendo related. That's what people expect. I don't know what will be in that podcast. Just to be clear, I do not know. I just know that it's Nintendo related, and so I'm definitely interested in.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either. But yeah, it should be. I mean, his podcasts are always awesome to listen to. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I assume it's gonna. I assume it's gonna be.
We assume there's gonna be a few nuggets.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a few little nuggets about what's going on with Nintendo. So we'll see. And perhaps now, infamous Nintendo leaker Nash Weedle has put out a interesting tweet that people are interpreting in different ways. Which I know a lot of people right now are just super dubious of. And honestly, I get it. His sources indicated February or March. That has not happened. It doesn't look good. Like, quite frank, I know you're a friend of Nash.
Yeah.
I think he's a really, from everything I've seen of his person, I think he's a very nice guy. But the fact is, multiple times he talked about hearing about a February or March direct from multiple sources. No such thing occurred. Yeah, there were announcements. Yeah, there was a Mario movie direct, but that's not what was indicated. And so a lot of people were misled. Now maybe plans change. I get it, but it's just not a good look. So I'm kind of just what I'm hoping is that the other things that he said will eventually be proven true, right? Like the big 3D Mario for the holiday, the Monolith Soft title being announced in the next General Direct, the Super Metroid remake. I hope the Ocarina of Time 3D thing is wrong, but we'll see. But my
Yeah.
point is, I kind of need to wait and see on those big ones, you know. But he is saying something here, and I interpreted it in one way, but apparently people are interpreting it in another. So we could just tackle this first. I feel like because it may be related to Star Fox. Some people think it is related to Star Fox. Let's see here.
Well, and some people think it's related to Mario, I'm guessing.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right. So let me share this with you guys. Okay. So Nash Riedel said earlier today, just a few short hours ago, Nintendo fans, an entire generation we've been waiting for. We will find out in April, and we'll have it in summer. So to me, I read this as, I mean, we're getting an announcement in April of something, right? Which to me, you know, it kind of feels like every time we're kind of hoping to get something, we're like, oh, it's got to be in a direct, right? It's got to be in a direct, right? And I understand we've been wrong multiple times on the thing. Oh, this is finally it, but it's got to be a direct, right? So we'll see. But what have we waiting an entire generation for? Mario Odyssey came out 2017. He's previously reported that the new 3D Mario should come out this year. It coming out in summer, though, doesn't really make much sense. That would be very, very surprising. However, Bonanza was revealed in the April Switch 2 Direct last year and came out July. So they could be looking at a similar turnaround. However, with the ideas of this maybe being Star Fox in mind, Star Fox being in the movie in a similar fashion to Donkey Kong, getting revealed, you know, in an April Direct and then coming out in the middle of summer, you know, maybe there's something to that idea. Star Fox, it has been more than a whole generation. Last time we saw Star Fox was at the end of the Wii U generation, Star Fox Zero, which was terrible. Okay, that terrible is a gross exaggeration. It was actually a fun game, but it was definitely a low budget effort because obviously it was for the Wii U. I get it.
Oh, you're talking about the Star Fox game?
Star Fox Zero, yeah.
Yeah.
Like graphically, it looked a lot of way. There were some parts that looked really good. There were other parts that looked extremely simple.
Yeah.
Like why is it, like it didn't look like a Wii, like it didn't look like a Wii U title. It looked like in a lot of ways like a PS2 title.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were models that look good. There were boss fights that look good. There were areas that look good, but there were other parts that were like the ground textures were so simple. Like it was. Yeah. It just didn't look like it looked kind of like an indie title in a way.
Yeah,
like a really good indie title.
Yeah, I agree. I it hurts me every time I think back, and I always forget it's a Platinum Games game, you know, and it's like, man, when I heard they were developing that game, I had such high hopes for that game. But then at the same time, I think they were encouraged, right, basically, as well, any developer was, to use the two screens, right? So obviously that took precedent, and that kind of dictated the game they kind of had to make as well. Like, I don't know that if it was left to them 100%, they would have used the second screen as much as they ended up having to. I don't know, but I don't know that it worked that well. To me, I just found it distracting. There were some cool things about it, but to divide your attention between the two screens in that game, I don't know. It never felt right to me. It almost made the action feel really disjointed. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I had such high hopes for that game, you know. But and I know a lot of people in some way want it back on the Switch too, in some way. But I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
sorry.
What do you think this means?
I mean, it could be any of those things. It could be F-Zero. How long will we wait for a proper F-Zero game? Says the GameCube. I mean, obviously, we got F-Zero 99, right? Obviously. But that's not, you know.
I mean, that would be... the thing with F-Zero is it's been more than a generation.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. If you break it down literally, exactly, like a literal, gaming generation.
It doesn't feel like he's referencing F-Zero with that. I mean, he could just be wrong about his, you know, he could just be saying, and you know what I mean? Like, he could just be saying an entire generation, but he just means a long time.
Yeah,
you know?
See, that's what I was thinking. It's just a long time. For me, the interesting thing about it is the quick turnaround, as you said, because I find that, wow. So you're telling me, but again, we didn't know We didn't know about Bonanza before it got revealed, did we? Before the initial
Nope.
reveal, and then
not officially.
No, other than rumors, right?
It was revealed officially April 2nd. Came out July 17th.
Yeah,
something like that.
Exactly, right. So, because my initial thing was like, oh, okay, so something that close that presumably maybe hasn't even been rumored or anything like that, and then it's going to be released that quickly. You know, my initial thought was, could it be something that's been rumored already?
Like, what if the idea is that Nintendo wants to kind of do like two huge ish all right, so like last year was Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. I mean, I do believe Metroid Prime 4 should also be there, but and then you also have Pokemon. So you know, I don't really. Those are also big titles in terms of effort, right? Like, okay, there's room. I feel people say Pokemon won't have the effort, but my main point is that Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza were kind of like these two like big, you know, like internally made Nintendo titles.
Yeah.
And so those happened. What if Nintendo's going to do that again this year, and it's going to be 3D Mario and Star Fox? Now, I say that, right, but I also kind of don't think Star Fox is being made internally. Maybe it is. I would assume it's in part, right? Like you look at, like for example, Mercury Steam made Metroid Dread, but obviously Nintendo representatives were involved with that project too. It was a joint effort.
Yeah.
And so I expect that whoever is helping out with Star Fox would also be a joint effort. My theory has been Ubisoft, actually.
Oh, because it's not. Yeah.
I mean, listen. There's not like, we don't have like job listings or anything, like, not that I've seen. You know, there's no like leaks saying it's Ubisoft, but I just think it makes a lot of sense. You just think about it from the perspective of like, you look at. I have to think that there were meetings about this at some point or another. They must have at least kicked the can around with the idea, because I mean, well, we know they actually had a conversation, because they literally put Star Fox content into Starlink Battle for Atlas, and the Switch version with that Star Fox content that had extra DLC added for Star Fox, by the way, on top of the base Star Fox content, all that led to the Starlink Battle for Atlas on Switch 1 being the best-selling version.
Yeah,
still wasn't a great success, but it was the best-selling version out of all the Starlink versions.
But you also, do you remember when it came out? Like, there was so much talk from fans who were begging Nintendo to let them make a Star Fox game because of how that game Starlink turned out. Like, so many people, like the noise about it was so big that Nintendo had to have noticed that. You know, they had to notice that.
I mean, the thing is, why do you think they include the content to begin with?
Exactly.
Because it felt very Star Fox coded.
Exactly.
And because it makes sense. Quite frankly, the reason why they would do it is because it makes sense. The idea has to at least have been considered.
Yeah.
You know, and so that alone, I think, is room for optimism there. But here's something else I think we should think about. I brought up in my videos. Ubisoft has been responsible for several big exclusives or timed exclusives for new Nintendo platforms. On the Nintendo Wii, we had Red Steel and Rayman Raving Rabbids. There were two big exclusives that came out early on for the Nintendo Wii. For the Wii U, we had Zombie U. So they maintained that pattern. Another big exclusive. And then for Switch, it was Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Came out on that first year, and they came out with a sequel, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Zombie U. It's a classic in a way. And so all those are big exclusives, right? And not counting Sparks of Hope, they've all come out early on into a Nintendo generation.
And Rayman Legends as well, right? That was a timed exclusive, but it came out very early on.
That's true. Rayman Legends on
Wii U.
True. Yeah. Now, the thing with the Rayman ones is that, you know, that's their Rayman IP, right? But we look at Zombie U, Red Steel, and the Mario Rabbids series. Those are all new IP or Nintendo, or going back to using an established Nintendo IP, right? And actually, they've seen the most success with going to a Nintendo IP using Mario. That Mario Rabbids did extremely well. I don't know the number of Sparks of Hope. I think I remember hearing that they weren't as happy with it.
Yeah,
probably because they already had high expectations based off the first one, but it still sold a few million, so it wasn't like a flop or anything. Well, expectation, but point is, it did still sold a few million. It's still like
it sold millions still.
Yeah. And so point is though, there's a history of Ubisoft putting out big exclusives for Nintendo consoles early on. We haven't seen that for Switch 2.
Yeah.
Switch 2 is actually, from everything we've seen, probably the best environment for big third-party releases in decades, since probably the Super Nintendo.
100%.
And actually, the thing with the Super Nintendo, it wasn't even a good environment. Nintendo's kind of had a monopoly. So, it just is what I think GameCube had pretty good third-party support, but the issue is it lacked online, and then there were issues, right? The Switch 2 is a really good environment for third parties. And so Ubisoft has this history of supporting Nintendo even when it wasn't a good environment. And after the success of Switch and after the success they had with the Mario Rabbids series, if they were willing to invest when there wasn't much history of success, now that there is, from both a hardware and software perspective, don't you think it's actually a real head scratcher that we haven't seen it announced yet? So you factor that in conjunction with what Starlink was in the Star Fox content. Now we have the Star Fox, Fox and Cloud in the Star Fox movie, which, it's very much like the Donkey Kong thing. You and I both believe it. I am 99.9% convinced that a Star Fox game is in the works. This is intentional. If you follow me, I talk about this all the time. It's probably annoying. Nintendo's cross-promotional strategies. There is intent behind it. As the months draw on, more and more evidence piles up on this. It's not coincidence. Pikmin, Donkey Kong, Mario, Zelda, now Star Fox. So, obviously, I don't know if it's Ubisoft, right? In conjunction with Nintendo. I know some people aren't very high on Ubisoft, but you cannot deny the tech of Starlink. That, in conjunction with some direction by Nintendo executives, like a joint effort, I really do think they can make a very good game there. It's a theory that I just think makes a lot of sense. Even if it's not Star Fox, I still feel like Ubisoft has to be working on some sort of exclusive. And after the success of Mario Rabbids, and Kingdom Battle, and Sparks of Hope, you gotta think they should be thinking about either A, making another Mario Rabbids game, or B, using another Nintendo IP to say a success where they do sell a few million like that. So,
they would have been one of the first to have dev kits as well. And I doubt the first thing they did with those dev kits would make ports of Assassin's Creed and Star Wars. I'm sure, like you said, Nintendo would have trusted Ubisoft, as they have, as you said, in the beginning of the generation, to create something new. Which, to be honest, that like, if this is a Star Fox thing, and if it is Ubisoft, that I kind of find that encouraging, just for the fact that, because I would assume they've been working on this for a while, that encourages me to like, the quality of a game in development for a decent amount of time.
Sparks of Hope came out 2022, right?
Yes, exactly.
But also that doesn't mean it would be the same developer either. Like,
no. The only other thing is, and I don't think this is true, because I think you're right. I think if there is a Star Fox game, I think Ubisoft will be the one. I'd bet on it almost. Obviously, I don't know anything, but it just makes sense, like you said. But there was an article years ago when that was talking about Star Fox on the Wii U, where I think initially they were looking at Monolith to do it, and it was Miyamoto who wanted Platinum Games. It was his suggestion to go with Platinum Games, but they were in discussions, or there was the idea that they were looking at Monolith for it. And so I saw that. I've even got it in an article somewhere, even. But it was like a long.
Said something that. So Nash here says, "Did you know we were very close to a Star Fox developed by Monolith? Miyamoto confessed they considered the option, but chose Platinum for their commitment to stunning visual effects." Oh, the irony! Is it time for Monolith to take the reins and give us the space adventure we deserve? That is interesting.
Yeah.
So this is from, by the way, some people might hear me say Nash Weedle and be like, oh, scoff at it. But this is him he's not putting out a rumor here. He's just reminding us of a report from 2015 where Monolith Soft was considered to be the developer for the next Star Fox title, but instead they went with Platinum Games. Now, maybe he is hinting that the next Star Fox is being developed by Monolith Soft. And what's interesting is that there is a rumor from Nash Weedle that the next General Direct would have an announcement of a Monolith Soft title. And actually, the more I think about this gets really interesting. Oh, I hate this.
You're starting connecting Monolith to Star Fox.
I hate this, but I also love it at the same time because it would probably mean that Project Legacy. This would be Project Legacy, Star Fox title, which would be.
You got your video for tomorrow now, man.
I don't know, man. There's a lot going on right now. But actually, okay, all right. I know this sounds crazy, but walk with me here, okay? Monolith Soft has been working on something since the beginning of the Switch era. Now, they were initially hiring for a fantasy medieval title. There would be a new IP, different from the brand image. And they've continually hired for this project for years. Now, they had a couple bits of concept art that looked very Zelda coded. It had Zelda symbolism in there. And so that's been a whole other thing, right? In terms of speculation. But what is also interesting is that we also know that they were hiring for people with experience in action games. And we actually have a job posting or LinkedIn profile listing, I should say, of someone working at Monolith Soft at least since 2021 on an action title.
Yeah.
And so Star Fox fits the bill for action.
Especially because it could be on ground action as well. It could be like, adventures or assault, where it's got,
There's layers to this. Absolutely, though. The other thing I want to mention, though, is that in Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, they did add that new content where you are flying around and it's not an R-Wing, but the Skells, there's a new Skell that flies around like an R-Wing. Yeah. So in an open world environment. ATB, your camera froze.
Oh, I just noticed that.
You look good. It's a good still.
It could be a worse pose. You can still hear me though, right? All right, let me try.
Yeah. I'll check with my super chats in the comments.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shut my OBS down and put it back up, but I should still be here.
Yeah. Pokemon fan, been a member for 6 months. Appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around all this time. Having Hope, been a member for 37 months. Can we see Ruby before the stream ends? Yes. Please try to remind me because I have that history of forgetting. But she's actually sleeping right here on the PC, so I can bring her up. I'm gonna let her sleep for now, but I will show her at the end for those to stick around. Easy does it. Thank you. Glad to have you as a member now. Welcome. And Eric Turlato with a super chat. I'm getting deja vu from 6 months ago. So what's the deja vu? I mean, what is it that feels similar? Because listen, we've definitely. This concept we've talked about, right? The concept of Monolith Soft developing Star Fox is. I've never talked about that before. This is new. But the concept of just a new Star Fox game being in development, that,
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. Anyway, what I find interesting about, there are some things that don't quite fit in terms of Monolith Soft doing this. It doesn't quite fit because they were looking to do something in the fantasy medieval setting at first. Now the things can change, right? That was 2017. This is 2026, or 2018. There's been many years, right? That project could have shifted, become something else. But you mentioned the Star Fox title having a little bit of an adventures element. So let's go back to the poster here.
Mm-hmm. But just quickly as well, because
Yeah.
I can't remember what the number was now, but I remember seeing a post. It might have been from Stealth, maybe, where they were recounting how big the team at Monolith is now, like how many members they got. It was hundreds.
Big.
It was massive now. Like it's grown huge now, and clearly that could be to work on multiple projects at the same time. So it could even be that they got multiple teams. Like
it's certainly possible, but like when I think that they also have they have multiple studios. Like they have a team that helps out with Zelda development.
Yeah.
They help out with, I believe, Animal Crossing and Splatoon as well, if I'm not mistaken. And so they do a lot of support work. They have now a separate team that just focuses on research and development. Which is the idea behind that is that their work there would streamline the development process and in turn make it easier for all their other studios.
Yeah.
And then they have the team that makes Xenoblade. And so we don't even know like where this other project like fits in, like who's working on what. But we know they've been hiring for this project for years, right? It's not just from their own page, but also we have LinkedIn profile listings. So like they've been continually hiring for something that this is not the support work for these games or Zelda or Xenoblade, I mean. So it's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, had you not mentioned Ubisoft, I would have been like, well, yeah, see, actually, I could see Monolith doing it, and they know, obviously they got the relationship, they got a big team now. They would have had the dev kits, first, right? There's a lot of reasons there. Obviously, Nintendo trust them, but then there's a whole talk about Nintendo talking about Monolith almost doing its own Zelda, right?
Yeah.
So it that again kind of puts me back in the camp that's kind of what Nintendo sees of them, and I still think when Starlink came out, there was just so much talk about people wanting them to do a Star Fox that Nintendo, it would have been impossible for them not to at least have a conversation about it internally, at least kick the idea around, and again, like it also would help in, I don't know if Nintendo's being caught out by the amount of time it's taken to make games in this gen in 4K, and that's, I don't know if they were taken by surprise or whether they've always planned for it, and and they knew Mario was going to take X amount of time, Zelda was going to take X amount of time, and maybe they want to make fill it up with other games, and maybe Star Fox is that kind of the game that doesn't take 4 or 5 years to make, that they could hand it to another studio and get it in before Mario, Luigi's Mansion, and Zelda, and maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's why they have games like that, games like Yoshi, whilst their teams grapple with what it is to basically, make games in 4K. I just find it weird though, that how they were so what's the word, organized coming off of the Wii U onto the Switch, knowing that they had to rely on themselves at least to get the Switch off to success. The fact that they had everything planned so meticulous to have a big game out every 6 weeks or so, and I'm sure they thought this time around for the Switch 2 we'll have more third parties, so maybe we don't need to be as meticulous, maybe we don't need to have as many games ready. But I still find it a bit, I don't know, I feel like they've been caught out in some way, or something's happened that they're not quite where they want to be in terms of game releases, and but this would be a perfect, look how excited everyone is at the thought of a Star Fox game, and if the game is good, if it's Ubisoft, it's a very good studio, it's a game again that doesn't take doesn't take X amount of years to make. So I could see it. I could definitely see it.
If Ubisoft is behind the Star Fox title, if Mercury's team has Super Metroid Remake or
a
new 2D Metroid, and then we have 3D Mario, with everything else we already have for this year, that's a hell of a year.
Not even including third-party stuff, Jesus.
Right, no, like
and
we still have Splatoon Raider. Like, listen,
Call of Duty,
Splatoon Raiders. I know. Listen. I don't have much of a Splatoon audience. Which, I mean, quite frankly, that does impact me making Splatoon. I don't even know what to say about a Splatoon video, to be honest. I love Splatoon, but I don't know. I think I do more research. But I think when we get more Splatoon Raiders like news, I'll be able to maybe talk more about it. The same thing with Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. But I just to be clear, I'm excited for both those titles. Those are 2 big titles that are coming out this year, and we're getting the Dust Bloods. Like those are 3 big titles.
Absolutely.
Yoshi's the Mysterious Book. Honestly, I'm not even sure I'm gonna buy it after that last.
No,
trailer.
me either.
No, I was open to it with the first trailer, but the second trailer kind of like,
yeah,
it just.
I felt the same. That was so weird, though. I thought I would be
Yeah.
more excited for the second trailer, and I'm exactly the same. It had the same effect. I was kind of more like, oh, I don't know actually about this.
Like it just doesn't look like I just don't feel like spending even $60 on it.
Yeah, no way.
Because it would be digital, not physical. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like I look at the fit, like that bug. Like, there's nothing about the game that's like, oh, I gotta buy that. Like, I don't feel like Yoshi Mysterious Book is the game that I'm gonna have to buy, that I want in my case. Where I'm like, oh, look at this Yoshi, like
streaming it day one.
It's not. I don't have the hype for it. I don't.
Me
like, and you know, I don't think like I think for me as a content creator, I sometimes feel pressured to like I have to like play every single game. But what I think I'm coming to realize is that I'm just gonna live my life and enjoy what I want.
Man, life's too short.
Yeah,
it's too short.
So listen, maybe the reviews will come out or the previews will come out. Maybe Nintendo will send me a code. Be nice. And then I'll absolutely cover it. But you know, I don't know. Anyway, my point is, there are some big games already coming, but if Nintendo announces, I kind of dislike how there's a lot of people make the assumption that we're going to get like one Nintendo title per month, and there's going to be some months they're going to skip and that's it. That's not how Nintendo's been handling things.
Yeah.
There might be like usually one major title per month, but there's going to be something else in conjunction, like another Switch 2 edition or a smaller title. Like some people are like saying that Rhythm Heaven is going to take up a whole month. I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be Rhythm Heaven and another title that's either comparable or bigger, or at least a Switch 2 edition. And so I think we should keep that in mind, that most of the months this year, the way it's been going, there's going to be multiple things, right? So in this upcoming month of April, we're going to get a physical edition of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. That game's already come out twice already, so I don't think that's that big of a deal. It's coming out a third time, or arguably a fourth time, because we count the initial Wii U release. But it's going to be Tomodachi Life and Pokemon Champions, right? Like, none of those to me are that big of a deal. Like, Xenoblade X is a big deal, but I played it in 2015. Like, so, you know.
I agree. I love it. It's my favorite Xenoblade.
I'm happy. I'm happy it's on my Switch. My Switch too. Like, and I'm happy there's an enhancement. But I'm just trying to say it's not a big deal release, right?
Yeah.
Tomodachi Life, not for me. It goes back to the Yoshi. Like, I'm more interested in Yoshi than Tomodachi. I am not buying Tomodachi Life.
What? Oh man!
You know what? I am so disinterested. I am so disinterested in Tomodachi Life. I might not even play it if I am given a free download code.
No,
I'll be like, this is just going to take up space on my console. I don't care for it. I don't. I know I'm not going to have fun. I know it's going to be a waste of my time. I just know. I regretted watching. I watched the direct for breakfast, the Tomodachi Life direct for breakfast. Just to be clear, I know some people watching might be like, "Oh, but I love Tomodachi Life," and more power to you. I respect your desire to play the game. I am not saying it's a bad game. I think it's probably a wonderful game for what it is. But what it is does not jive with me. Not at all. It's just not for me. I think we should be okay with that. There are things that people dislike. Different people dislike and like different things. I hate coffee. I don't like beer. Most people love beer. Most people like coffee. I'm not a coffee beer guy. I'm just not. I like water and juice and bubbly things. Or hard liquor.
So someone's gonna clip this and put it online. Like, is under this all right? Like, is he okay? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm crazy. Crazy. I said Star Fox would be in the Mario movie.
Yeah, there's something for everyone, you know. Like, there's loads of big games that they just don't hit me. I don't know what it is. There's games I've tried various times that are big games that people love. Like God of War, it just doesn't get me. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't grab me. And there's loads of big games that just don't.
You know what doesn't grab me? Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, me too. It's so overrated.
But here's the thing. I actually disagree with you. I don't think it's overrated. I just don't think it's for me. I can completely acknowledge that it's probably a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 series. But it's not for me. You know, I don't, it's not, like, I'm okay with that, right? Like, it's not a 9 out of 10 game for me. It's maybe a 7 out of 10 game for me, you know?
Yeah,
like it might be fun to mess around with, but I don't think I'm gonna get lost in that kind of game. It doesn't really capture me. Like, I'll admit that with the new one, because it's based off Miami, like, there's some intrigue there because it's where I live. Just for the record, the parts on the trailers are over glorified. That's like not where I live, right? I live on the suburbs. It looks like a normal place, but except the trees are more. There's differences, but you know, there's not a crocodile like right outside my door, right? I don't see a giant ocean like right out my window. That'd be nice, but I have to go live at South Beach, which, you know, is a little more expensive, and the place would be smaller. So, also, if a storm comes, that would suck. Anyway, but rambling aside, like, you know, I know you're with me on this. I really dislike the take that, oh, because Grand Theft Auto is coming out this year, that just
100%.
means Nintendo's not going to have games.
Yeah, I'm doing a video on that. Like, I still need to edit it, but yeah.
I just, like, what do you think Nintendo's going to do? Not make money for the holiday, the most lucrative time of the year? What?
Yeah. I'll say a little bit, because the video I'm doing is specifically on that, but specifically looking at Mario, right? And so I've had this idea for a while, so I was doing a lot of research, and man, like, I was looking back, like, how many copies of GTA sold on each console when it came out, PS3, PS4, PS5. I think the most it sold on any console, was it like 45 million? And obviously we got games like Mario Kart that sold 62 million on Switch. Animal Crossing sold like 50 million, stuff like that. And then I looked at had any other big games come out in the same month as GTA, like on the PS3 and PS4. I can't remember which one of the two consoles, but there was big games on every console in the same month, right? Like, there was a FIFA 14, I think it was. There was a Call of Duty, both out in the same month. Smash Brothers came out in the same month on the Wii U. I think that's the PS4 version. There was multiple massive games that came out in the same month as GTA 5 on the PS3 and PS4 releases. You know, and then you look at, I looked at brand, what do you call it, brand worth, right? So, like, how much the Mario brand is worth. I can't remember what it is at the top of my head now, but it's like 55 or 80 billion or something. And then what the brand worth of GTA is, and it was less. I looked at all these kinds of things, and then that's before you even talk into, you know, demographic, and the fact that, you know, it's not the same demographic that's going to buy a Mario 3D game necessarily as a GTA 6. So, like, I agree. Like, I think Nintendo could absolutely release a 3D Mario, for example, even in the same month, but definitely a month before or after, 100%.
I see people online saying, "Oh, the October through December, Nintendo's not gonna have anything." I'm like, what?
Like, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all.
And I can concede that I imagine Nintendo might at least think about this, how they space things out, you know, especially if Grand Theft Auto is going to release for Switch 2.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like, if that's the case, if Grand Theft Auto comes out for Switch 2 day and date, which I got to be honest, I'm skeptical of, but, you know, if more and more third parties are doing that, then but let's operate on the assumption they do, right? Which you and I both acknowledge seems unlikely, but it's not out of the question entirely. It kind of depends on when Rockstar got dev kits and decided to start making the Switch 2 version. But even if that's the case, it comes to Switch 2 day and date, I think Nintendo might not have one of their big games come out in that same week. Maybe even wait an additional week. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to go more than a month without putting out a major game during the October to December period. 100%. That's the time where they're going to put out the most games. That's usually when they put out the most games. And I still would think that they might even put out a small game during that time as well. That just, you know, is a little different. Like, you know, it does kind of feel like Nintendo did rely on both Final Fantasy and Resident Evil to kind of carry the core audience for January and February. That's what I cared about. I didn't care about what came out January with the Animal Crossing update. I'm just not I need like people that really want me to play cozy games with them for me to play them, because otherwise I feel like it's a chore to me. And I didn't care for Mario Tennis Fever in February.
No, me
But I
either.
did care about Resident Evil Requiem. So I feel like I'm kind of showing like my taste, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Resident Evil Requiem. I like those kinds of games.
Same. That's what I bought.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it. I have been playing Procopia.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, what did you think?
I'm gonna finish. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it.
Really?
I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. Like, it's fun, and there's time. Like, I play it, and there are times it makes me laugh, and it's cute, but I don't feel like I need to keep playing it. If that makes sense. Like, there's nothing that's like drawing me. I've gone back to playing Mario Galaxy 2. I gave my 100%ed when I was in college. Like, so I'm just 100%ing it again. I'm thinking about I'm working my second run of Metroid Prime 4 and working my second run for Requiem. I'm doing now I'm thinking about going back and playing all the Splatoon games, maybe to kind of get my mind ready for the Splatoon Raiders campaign. Anyway,
But do you think...
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to quick because it's funny because it sounds like we got similar taste, and it's weird. Sometimes I talk to old friends, and it's almost like I don't know if because certain games aren't releasing at the same quality. So I'm thinking of games like Mario Tennis, stuff like that, right? Or whether we're just becoming like almost too old to enjoy it as like we did before. And that's what worries me, because it seems like there's a lot of games that come out that ordinarily would really excite me, and like Procopia, but yeah, Mario Tennis was another one, and there's a lot of games like that. And I'm now thinking, and it worries me a little bit, because even which Mario game was it? Odyssey. I'll be honest, Odyssey didn't grab me the same way as everyone. No, there was parts about it that I loved, like absolutely loved. The New Donk City musical part, just the fact you can turn into Chomp as well, Bullet Bill. The parts where you go into 2D into the wall. There's just moments.
I love Mario
Nintendo. Yeah, but
it's so good.
100%. I don't know.
I was so into Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
like I was finding ways to break the game. Like there were some cool secrets. Like so, the snow level. How there's a racetrack?
Yes.
So there's actually an angle in which you can kind of like jump through the window because there's like a part where you're with the townspeople to see the track. You can jump through that and walk through the entire snow track map. There are parts where you fall through. Like I would glitch through that and mess around with that. Right. I was like studying jumping mechanics so I could jump like 500 feet distances. You know? So like in New Donk City, there's two sections, right?
Yeah.
There's there's a part where you land and you have to take like the wire line to cross to the city.
Yeah.
I would jump from there to this. I would find ways to do it. There are ways to do it. To me, that was really cool. So I love adventuring, platforming, action stuff, and figuring out cool things that people think are impossible. Yeah. So like Pokemon Legends Arceus, for example. As you progress in Legends Arceus, you obtain like the ability to fly and climb and stuff like that. And so there was like a Gyarados in the first map that's like flying really high up. And I was playing with my friends that day. Like we all had like a launch party. We were playing the game together, right? And I was like, guys, I want to get that Gyarados. And one of my friends was like, bro, don't even try. It's not possible. Why are you wasting your time? Like, I think it's possible. So I spent I spent like 30 minutes to an hour straight just like doing whatever I could do to kind of like I don't know what the word is, but I tried to basically force my way to get higher, and I got to it. I found the right small pocket of time, and I caught that Gyarados. That was not intended to. It was for most. It's. I mean, maybe they intentionally designed it so it would be possible.
Yeah.
But it was clearly not intended for 99% of people.
Yeah.
To get Pokemon at that point in the game. And to me, that was just magical. So that's just kind of like.
Yeah. Well, and to say about Mario, like I am at the point where I am very excited to see a Mario trailer. Like I'm I'm so excited for it, and same as Zelda, that like a lot of people are getting really angry, right, about like, you know, when's the next direct and how the hell we not seen the Mario and Zelda yet. And because I'm enjoying so many of the third-party games on the Switch 2 at the moment, I really want to see Mario and Zelda, but I've waited so long that it's almost like the longer I wait, the more excited I'm getting, you know, and I want to get to that almost fever pitch, but I'm getting to the point where I almost don't mind the wait. I you know, if we don't see it until, I don't know, the end of the year, I almost don't mind, because I think it'll be amazing, you know, and just the idea of what a brand new Zelda in a brand new world, that first 5 seconds when you just see it for the first time, that moment, oh my god, I honestly,
I can't wait.
Oh, honestly, I mean,
correct me if I'm wrong, but have we? I don't think we've seen Nintendo take advantage of DLSS on their games yet. Not even Metroid Prime 4. Like,
I'll say something which I think I've said to you in private, and I've never said it publicly because it's not really a big thing, but I thought it was very interesting, and I don't know in what way this is true of capacity, but I had heard from somewhere that that Nintendo in some way, shape, or form had advised Capcom almost like as a way to, or advise them in what was the best way to get the best out of the hardware, you know, like, and what kind of tricks to do. But specifically, I heard about DLSS that they had advised them in some sort of way, you know, on how to use DLSS or, you know, something like that, right? So, and I thought that was really cool, because what Capcom have done specifically with Requiem, like their use of the hardware and DLSS is insane. How they've got Requiem like that on Switch
and they updated to make it look better, like,
exactly. You know, but also because of what you said, Nintendo hasn't even used it themselves. So
right, like we've seen, like, I would say games like Requiem and 7 Remake are more impressive than Nintendo's offerings.
100%. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know, like, listen, I would say visually, Metroid Prime 4, Mario Kart World, and Bonanza, those are like the top 3 Nintendo games on Switch 2 visually, and they're good. They're all great looking games, but, you know, I look at something like Requiem or 7 Remake or Star Wars Outlaws, you know, and I'm like, well, those games look insane.
Yeah.
You know, for Switch 2 specifically.
Yeah. I mean,
like, they're good looking games, period. But and you know, for me, playing through choosing, because the thing is, I've been playing Resident Evil games on my PlayStation 5, so and I think that's important to note that I switched from playing on my PlayStation 5 to play Requiem on my Switch 2. And don't get me wrong, the PlayStation 5 version's better, right, visually. But if you don't compare them and you just play Requiem on your Switch 2, you're not going to even realize it.
Yeah.
But then if you look, you're like, oh man, that hair does look
better.
The hair,
I was gonna say the hair, yeah.
Like Grace got conditioner and it looks really good. Like she has a way better like hairdresser on the PS5 version. But you know, if you don't look at that, you're like, it's fine. It's like it's video game hair, right? It's not like bad, and especially after the update, it's improved.
Yeah,
because it was like a kind of like really fuzzy and a little annoying if you like hard look at it within the day one release, but after the update, they smoothed it out a noticeable amount. And I imagine they could continue to improve that if they choose to. But anyway, you know, that experience has really sold me on the experience. That and 7 Remake, like those.
Yeah, I'm
really
playing 7 at the moment. Yeah,
like they're really good experiences on Switch 2, and I think something else that should be considered, and not only considered, I think it's greatly overlooked, is the fact that these are portable games. You can play this in handheld mode. These are not the handheld games. These are console games. These are modern console games that Switch 2 runs well. You know, relative. You know, for the relatively right, but it runs them well. They look good. You don't feel like, for the most part, you don't feel like you're playing a compromised version. And on Switch 1, I felt like I was playing compromised versions of the games. I was really excited to see Bethesda games come to Switch last generation, but I was really disappointed when playing them. I felt like I was playing a compromised version, so I stopped picking them up. You know, after my experience with Wolfenstein, I think I actually did eventually give Doom a try because there was a big discount, but I didn't continue.
Yeah,
because you know and And so I have high hopes that those, because the Fallout actually they put out a pretty big update that it
I'm
was
gonna
pretty
buy
good.
it. I'm gonna download it.
And I don't even think they even added DLSS for it yet. So like,
just today they have today.
Oh really?
Like about 5 hours ago, I saw the tweet and
crazy.
I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna buy it now!"
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And I quickly saw a video. Actually, I can't remember who it was, but I saw a video of the comparisons. I think the 30 FPS mode looked whatever, but the 40 FPS mode with DLSS on and off looked very noticeably different, like very noticeably better. It looks like a very good update, very good update. So yeah, I'm gonna download it because I've played an hour of it.
I gotta ask you, what'd you think of Pokemon Winds and Waves?
Oh, well, I think I said I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, because right, like I'm not a big Pokemon guy, but when I saw it, did you do the streams? I feel like I watched your stream of it.
Yeah, I probably streamed a little.
Yeah,
bit.
I'm pretty sure I saw. I think I watched yours because I think I was at work. But I liked it. I liked it. I like when it went underwater. I thought it looked good. I mean, it didn't look obviously groundbreaking, but it looked nice. I
think for Pokemon standards,
for Pokemon, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a modern game. It does not look. It doesn't look compromised.
Exactly.
Yeah. It looks.
It looked like it ran well. It looks like it was moving.
It looked like it ran well. It was visually appealing. It was aesthetically pleasing. Like I'm excited for it. Anyway, right, to kind of come back here, I want to get some chats in the chat, both the super chats and the live chat. So I'm gonna get you. I see the ads. I fully expect that Nintendo is not gonna just bend over and give up or whatever, however you choose to word it. This holiday, they're gonna put out games as they always have. 100%. I don't listen. This first half of the year, I recognize Tomodachi Life and Pokopia as big titles. They're not big for me, but they're big titles.
Yeah.
But I also don't think they are. I mean, we actually see it does look like Tomodachi Pokopia is a little bit of a needle mover, but I don't think it's the needle mover. It's not. It's not a 3D Mario. It's not a 3D Zelda. It's not a Mario Kart. I'm not even sure it's a Donkey Kong Bonanza, to be honest with you. That we'll see. Maybe it is a Donkey Kong Bonanza because we've seen a lot of people pick up Donkey Kong Bonanza when they get a Switch 2. A lot of people have bought the Switch 2 to play Pokopia. So maybe those are comparable. We'll see how the data shakes out long term, but it's definitely not like top tier Mario Kart World, 3D Mario, new Animal Crossing, Zelda, Smash kind of big needle mover thing. And I think we do need that from Nintendo. We didn't have that last holiday either. We had Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Bonanza last summer. They need something a year and a half later for the holiday, right? So, I think it doesn't make any business sense. It really doesn't. So, I expect there's going to be big stuff. And I think this actually is going to end up being a pretty good year. And I mentioned the third-party stuff, though, because to your point, for me personally, for my own personal tastes, it's been the third-party games that have kept me playing on my Switch too. Same. As a YouTuber, it's been challenging because I made a Resident Evil video, I made a Dust Bloods video, I made a Pokopia video, all below average. Well, the Dust Bloods actually did pretty good, but for those are like below average views because that's not my audience, right? Yeah. Still talk about them, but for me, it's gonna, I have to kind of wait for the big direct, that it is what it is. But personally, system's been good. Anyway, let's get to the chat. There are some things that I haven't we've kind of really glossed over some of this stuff. We haven't really dove in yet. Yeah. So Eric Tolado with a super chat. Thank you for super chat. It's crazy. The Toad's backpack morphed into Fox. I'm trying to be nice here, but it's like sometimes I think that some people just choose to believe that it's not the exciting thing in an effort to stay grounded. I understand the motive, but it never looked like a backpack.
No.
It never looked like a motorcycle. What I thought where I think the maybe the middle ground is that okay? It's someone in a spacesuit. You know, maybe it's not Star
that
Fox.
much was clear, right? For sure.
I thought it was pretty freaking obvious because you could see the pants, you could see the folds, you could see the blaster with the lights, you could see the boots, you could see the shoulder plate. I thought it was fairly clear. You know, granted, maybe if someone has like limited eyesight or I mean, everyone sees things differently, right? You know, it kind of goes back to I'm talking about opinions here. Like our perceptions, our perspectives are different too. So you know, I don't want to be like, ha, you're all wrong, you're dumb. Like no. But for me, it was clear that was not a inanimate object. it was something. It was somebody, and it wasn't just like the details. You also consider the setting. The setting was like if you understand like. I guess filmography, right? Like, or perspectives in telling a tale. The way that frame was, you could see that it was showing. It was a key moment where all the starring characters were looking at an important event, and so you have Mario, Yoshi, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and a backpack. No. Like
stop bullying people, Andres.
It would just I'm just what I'm trying to say is that it's bad. It would have been bad. It would have been bad from a filmmaker perspective. Like that's not how you shoot a good scene. Like that was clearly indicating another character. What I think was a proper middle ground is all right. It's probably a character, but it's a character we don't know. You know, but now we know it's Star Fox. Now we know it's Star Fox.
You know, the other question, I joked about it today, but the more I think about it, the more I think, oh, come on. They're in space. So we got we got Fox McCloud. Like, do we see, even for a few seconds, Samus? In some way? Like surely, like even if it's just a ship flying over after post-credits or something, you know, like surely they didn't remember Fox McCloud and forget Samus whilst they're in space. I don't know. I'm telling you, there's come on. Maybe they put Fox McCloud until we're all like, oh my god, the big reveal. And actually, he is the big reveal, but Samus is there in some way as well. It's got to be. I can't imagine we spend a movie in space and we don't see Samus, but we see Fox McCloud. I don't know, man.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I believe I do. Yes. Oh wait. As in Samus is gonna be live action. Oh, just a separate thing, not in the Mario.
I do not anticipate.
You don't.
Samus is gonna be in the movie.
Not even a reference.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna rule it out. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. The first Mario movie had so many different Nintendo references.
Yeah.
There can absolutely be more. I would love it, but here's the thing. I agree that seeing Pikmin, Rob, and Star Fox all in the movie, it opens the door for so much more. Right? In the Mario Galaxy movie and beyond. Right? I think the beyond part is what I'm more interested in. But yeah, I mean, maybe there could be a Samus reference, right? Maybe there could be a Captain Falcon reference. Like I don't think it's completely 100% out of the question, but there's a difference. And the difference is there was visual evidence, and also there was visual evidence that of Star Fox being in the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And there was also my belief that a Star Fox game is not far away. Those two things connected for me, right? And I'm like, all right, so Star Fox is the movie. The Pikmin stuff, I mean, we had multiple references.
Yeah.
You know, so the Pikmin thing, the Rob thing, I was like, oh, okay, Rob's in the movie. Like that was unexpected. That was a big surprise. So, you know, I would need to see something Samus related. But I'll tell you this though. I don't want to give up on Metroid, right? We've heard about Metroid Prime 4 sales like not being
yeah,
as good as it deserves to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of talked about on Nate's podcast yesterday. Like, I think what they need to do is they need to go the Requiem route and have an optional third-person mode and make it just as good as first-person mode. I also think they need to encourage a second playthrough where you try it out a different, like, the Metroid games are designed in a way to encourage a second playthrough, but I don't think they do enough to do that. I think they should actually cut out the fetch quest stuff at the end to extend the game, and instead they should focus that effort on making a second playthrough more interesting.
Yeah.
And that would actually give the game more playtime. You know, like maybe you lose the 3 hours, right? Or of like fetch quest extension.
It's
but
clearly
you turn
what
that
this
in.
comes in.
You turn that into like whatever, like you turn that into a new game plus where and maybe there's even like, I actually think they should carry over scans, right? And maybe if in that second playthrough you can get more bonus story or something. Like you do that with slightly changed around enemy attacks or puzzles, like something, to make that second playthrough really interesting. That would be I'm not saying, I'm sure it would take effort, but I think that would be better spent effort. Maybe just make it like an 8 to 10 hour campaign that's dense, really well done. Also, don't spend $1 billion, on the budget, right? Finish it in a reasonable amount of time. Have an awesome second playthrough design. People replay it. They can try it third person or first person. That third person, I think, will appeal to a lot of people. Like a lot of people who played Requiem did not play it in first person as they were supposed to with Grace. Like they
exactly.
didn't.
I didn't. I played it in third.
Right. But you liked it more because of it. That was more, and maybe Metroid doesn't sell well in Japan. Anyway, point is, I think that I don't want to believe that Nintendo's given up on Metroid. I think they put a lot of effort in Metroid Prime 4. Metroid, I mean, they're not giving up on 2D Metroid regardless. Like 2D Metroid is not going to die. Like that's clearly that series may have more potential than Xenoblade and Fire Emblem, actually, at least based off recent sales for 2D Metroid. Prime 4, I believe, from a quiet perspective, has even greater potential, but they haven't found a way to handle that. But they did spend a lot of time setting things up. So I don't think they're just going to give up on that. Also, we've talked about it before. I put a poll on this channel. Most of you agreed that the secret to the success of the Metroid series is continual marketing momentum. Don't go through another hiatus. Build the audience, right? So learn from the issues of Prime 4 and continue. Do it in a way where you think it'll be profitable, but learn from this. Use it as an opportunity to make the series better, not give up on it. And I think that's what Nintendo's going to do, but obviously we won't know until they confirm it, right? That all said, I think part of that could be, hey, well, maybe we should get Samus in a movie, right? So, maybe it starts with a cameo. I don't know. We'll see.
I believe.
We'll see. Yeah. I'm just telling you, I'm not gonna make a video. Samus might be coming back in a big way.
Where's Splatoon set? That's on another universe, isn't it? Get the Squidlins in the movie.
So next super chat though, from Christopher Spreezy. Thank you for the super chat. Hey guys, I'm getting worried regarding the Ocarina of Time remake. Nash hasn't said anything regarding the game for a while, and other insiders don't think it was ever going to happen. Should I give up hope? Who are the other insiders? That's what I'm curious on.
I don't think it was ever going to happen. Well, I clearly never heard anything about it anyways. I've never heard anything about Zelda, Ocarina. I don't know. I'm trying to think what was the last thing he said about it. That it was a while away, and that it was a extensive remake. I guess the example I used when I described it was it's like something like a Resident Evil remake. I think that's what he was suggesting, right? Like a remake of that kind of,
which means new gameplay elements. It's gonna feel like a modern game.
I think so.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing I don't love is that Nashville has also reported on a rumor that there's going to be an Ocarina of Time 3D HD this year.
3D, yeah.
He's reporting on both, and it's hard for me to believe they're gonna do both.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
so it's
well, especially
the
because
waters are really muddied there,
one.
and also Nash Weedle credibility right now is is low. So I just don't even know what to like. I feel like maybe we should just.
Well, let me say, because obviously, like, it's no secret. Like me, I'm very good friends with Nash, you know, and so I'll always defend him. And so let me say a little piece about it, you know, like, because he obviously hears a lot of stuff, and I've said many times that, you know, I think I've said it to you as well. Like he clearly has sources, because he's heard so many things that have come to light just in the Switch 2 era alone.
It's to me, it's a staggering amount.
It's a ridiculous. Like, it's not. That's not something that's just by like someone guessing or someone being lucky. Like, you can't put, I don't know what it was, 20, 25, 30 things together. I don't know what it was, whatever number. I think
what would be important is to the thing is, it would take so much time and effort, and there's no guarantee you're going to get everything. But to look through literally everything he's reported on, and be like, and then, you know, put him into batches. Okay, this is what's been teased. It's still pending. This is what's been wrong.
Yes.
This is what's correct.
But
the other issue is that, like, all right, so for example, if I did do that, right? Let's say I did that. I've thought about doing it, to be honest with you, but you know, like, but if I did do that, there are certain things I don't know if I can count. So, for example, he does the Leak Express, but then sometimes he doesn't do the Leak Express.
Yes.
Right. So he didn't do the Leak Express for Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Mm-hmm.
So can I give him credit for that or not?
Mm.
Right. And
so
that's
you know, like, I don't know. What I would say is that I'll say a few things. Like, one is you know, he's a very honest, like, he's a very very honest guy. And like, let me tell you as well, like, when this is kind of like why I've decided to leave the thing as well, because I just find it too stressful. But I know he's the same. I know when he puts out certain things, like, he'll really stress about it, but he'll stress about it from the point of view that not so much like, oh, I'm gonna get crap from people if this doesn't pan out, whatever. But he gets stressed in the same way I get stressed at the idea of letting people down. That's what stresses him out, right? So I know, like, similar, like, to me, like, if I'm the same, when I hear something, like, man, dude, I must check it 50, 60 times before I even hint at something, because I like the stress of thinking I might put something out that gets people's hopes up and then has the potential to be wrong. So it's just stressful as hell for me alone. But he does that regularly, and so, like, I know he's constantly thinking that he doesn't want to let people down, you know. And but that said, there are going to be times where some news just doesn't pan out. Like, I've been very lucky. I haven't put out nothing compared to what he's put out. I've just been very lucky. But even in some things that I've heard, man, I've heard multiple things change directions in like days and weeks, and you know, and then heard completely different things to what I've heard before. It just so happens, because I'm so stressed all the time and I wait as much as I can, and I'm as cautious as I can be, that I've been lucky in that sense. But it's like, when people say, oh man, they just say things change, they do. Like, they do. Things change, plans change, you know. And like, what I'll say is, I know, because I know he said this himself, so I feel like I can say it. He has said that sometimes he gets a bit excited, and he might have been too quick to post something in the excitement of what he's heard. And he said himself that sometimes he needs to learn to, like, you know, kind of reel back and wait, which is what I've always tried to do, is just wait. And so, you know, so like, to people, I'm not going to tell people what to think or whatever. It's just to say that, look, I know him really, really well. He's a super, super nice man. He's clearly got sources. And I think if he's gotten things wrong, I think it's inevitable that, you know, anyone is going to get things wrong.
The problem is that the recent thing is being wrong on the General Direct timing, where he had several sources saying February or March, and that hasn't panned out at all. So it just doesn't look good. But I also think if you look at the entire body of work, it's clear he talks about a lot of things that do come to fruition. Yeah. And so what I'm waiting to see is if by the end of this year, I mean, honestly, we'll probably know by the end of the summer, right?
Yes.
If like there's a handful of things he said that should be coming by Nintendo. I'm not saying all of that has to be confirmed. In fact, I hope some of it isn't confirmed. But you know, like if we see the 3D Mario confirmed, we see the Monolith Soft title confirmed, we see Super Metroid Remake confirmed, then I'm like, all right. You know, well, I'll say this: if we do get that 2D Metroid game and it's not Super Metroid Remake, then I'm like, all right, well, what the hell, right? I personally really want the Ocarina of Time 3D thing to not be real. And
the 3DS.
I wonder if that's like just like from a bad source or something. I don't know. I just think it would suck. It would suck.
Yeah, I wouldn't be excited by it.
Unless maybe there's some conflation. Maybe it is the big remake.
Yeah. I mean,
excuse me.
This is the thing, right? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, when you look at something, when you want something to be true, and sometimes you look at what you think it clues, and maybe they're not, maybe they are. But I do find it a bit, I don't know, telling. It's a bit weird that Nintendo does seem to be talking a lot about Ocarina in a lot of ways, right? Whether it's with the Lego,
Calibur 2 Link,
exactly,
yes, Ocarina of Time Lego,
exactly.
We do have those 2 Onuma interviews, right? There was the pet with the fairy. Like this isn't based off nothing. This is based off some pretty substantial things, I would say.
There's a lot there, and I know sometimes Nintendo does their own thing, and sometimes we're like miffed, like when they release something and it doesn't have the love and care or whatever. But I just can't imagine that they think it's a good idea to release a, I don't know, remaster, remake of a 3DS Ocarina, just slightly up-res with newer controls. I can't imagine that all of these things that they're dropping related to Ocarina specifically, for the end goal to be that 3DS remaster. I don't know. I find that hard. I find that hard.
Right, because I mean, they didn't build up Galaxy 2 like this.
No, exactly. You know, so like, you know,
like Galaxy 2, we predicted Galaxy 2 for a long time, and it was rumored.
Yes.
And we believed it, and I hoped it was going to be more ambitious than this than it was. But I mean, it's still good. But also, I think there's a big difference between remastering a Wii game than remastering a 3DS title that's already a remaster of an N64 title.
Yes,
it's a big difference. The gameplay structure is way more modernized in a Wii title, and 2 Wii games look really good when up-resed. 3DS titles, don't. And also, like, actually, can we even think of a 3DS up-res on a modern, on a Switch or a Switch 2? Like, I think the most recent one was I don't even remember the name, that detective game with the girl with the white hair.
Oh yeah.
Another Code? Is it another Code?
Yeah. Something Code.
Like, but that wasn't really a remaster. I mean, maybe it was technically a remaster, but that was visually rebuilt.
Yeah. But do you see what I mean, though? It's like, what, you're going to go through the trouble of doing that to get that type of end result? It just seems like they can't be like that. I'm
just saying, though, with the Another Code thing, that's more effort than what we're hearing about for the Ocarina of Time 3D.
Well, yeah, even that, yeah.
So, you know.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, I just feel like... I don't know what, like... Because obviously...
Breath of the Wild, what's also weird is that Nash has heard about both. Yeah. So... like, I almost just want to, like, forget about what Nash has said completely, especially considering all this Nintendo Direct stuff. But I also know he has a long history of hearing about things. But I'll also say this. The timing has been off pretty frequently. So, you know.
Yeah, but I think sometimes that's also a way, I don't know.
Like he said, Animal Crossing was initially slated for 2026, and Metroid Prime 5 is aimed for 2026.
Oh, sorry, sorry, yes,
yeah. I don't believe either of those things. I believe there's an Animal Crossing game in the works, and I'm curious to see if those concepts he mentioned a couple years ago will come to fruition. But you know, that's obviously wrong. They're not going to release a new Animal Crossing this year, right?
No.
We'll see. Maybe they will, but that's going to be wrong, right? And I also am pretty confident that Metroid Prime 5 is not coming out in 2027 either. That seems like it's probably going to be wrong as well. You know, but But do I believe both of those things are probably happening? Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with the Mario. Like, I've heard nothing about it. Like, I've got nothing to go on at all. But like, I believe him about the Mario. But then other people have spoken about it as well, isn't it? And so, but
hate.
I was gonna say, right? I didn't.
Yeah, well, he hasn't leaked.
No,
that's coming out this year yet. He's predicted. It's
that's
out this year. And interestingly, his predictions have aligned with a few other interesting things that have happened. So, you know.
I wanted to be very careful what I said because I can't remember. I think he predicted, as you said, yeah.
So another thing, Nintendo. I don't know how familiar you are with Nintendo. He has a history of teasing things, and he did tease, if I'm not mistaken, late last year, if not late last year, early this year, Zelda remake.
Yes.
I assume that's a 2D Zelda remake, but maybe it's Ocarina of Time. But if it's Ocarina of Time 3D upscaled to HD, that is not a remake. That is a piss poor, lazy remaster of a remaster.
Yeah.
You know.
But then, like, this is the thing, right? Because I was gonna say with Zelda, it's almost like I feel like it's split into two audiences almost. Like the newcomers that play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, will they be that bothered? However, this 3DS Ocarina is, or they'll just. But people who grew up with it, obviously. But I wonder how loud that noise is. You know, like. I wonder if we think
Galaxy 1 and 2 didn't sell that well either.
What didn't? Sorry,
Galaxy 1 and 2 didn't sell like 3D All Stars numbers. It didn't sell close to 3D All Stars numbers. And Switch 1 and Switch 2 audience here.
That's my point.
I'm a huge Zelda fan. I don't know if I'll buy an Ocarina of Time 3D HD.
I don't think I would. I just don't think I would. I'd have to see it, man.
Also, you already have time on N64 Classics. Like, is that different enough?
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah.
We'll
randomly, I did, without asking, so I did hear, again, just more confirmation about a Twilight and Wind Waker, but it's obvious. But
wait, what? What? You heard something about those?
Yeah, just that they do exist, but you know
what? Recently?
Everyone knows about that.
No. But you heard about it recently?
Yeah. But
all right.
But you know, I assume everyone thinks those are going to come out at some point.
Hold on. I don't think you realize what you're saying right now.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
It's been so long that we have collectively given up on this.
Oh. Well,
so look, the fact that I'm giving you an opportunity to step away from this. You misspoke, right? You misspoke about this.
I'll say something. I didn't even ask anything about it because I was just like, whatever. I've heard that so many times. And I'm like, I didn't even ask about it. It literally came up in the conversation, and I didn't even comment on it. I don't think. Well, I commented, oh man, Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda, but that's all I said because.
This is what I will say, though. A world where I can actually envision Nintendo putting out an Ocarina of Time 3D, upscaled to HD, that wouldn't actually take away from the vision of an Ocarina of Time remake, would be a world where they actually come up with a Zelda collection similar to 3D All-Stars. So,
yes. Oh,
that's the only manner in which I think it'll be palatable. And wouldn't necessarily take away from that. Some people will think it's over. Like that's going to be a talking point when the announcement happens, right? People are like, "Oh, see, the Ocarina of Time remake is never going to happen." But if Nintendo for the 40th anniversary announces a Zelda 3D All Stars that has Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and they're all upscaled, you know, then you use the 3DS versions for the N64 games. That would be pretty good, actually. 4 Zelda games.
Yeah.
I'll say this though, it would be such a head scratcher, but I can kind of see Nintendo doing it to not include Majora's Mask. You know, it would be kind of like not including Galaxy 2.
I was going to say that's probably something they would do. Yeah. Maybe that's the one they're remaking.
But the other thing is it would be wild. I mean, the thing is, Ocarina of Time could be like the Mario 64, you know, equivalent.
Yeah.
Right, and Mario Galaxy in Mario Sunshine, there's like the GameCube Wii games, Wind Waker, Twilight Prince. I mean, technically Twilight Prince was made for GameCube, but it was also came as a Wii launch title. One moment, my brother's is calling me. You can talk.
Well, no, I was gonna say, ask people in the chat which is their favorite Zelda, because I've been saying for a long time, Twilight Princess is the one that we need. That's the one that I want on the NSO. I don't know what people say. I'll read some of the questions. J17 says, ATB, I saw that you started a few hours ago. So you stated a few hours ago that we will have a Nintendo Direct in April without you knowing if it is a partner showcase or general or the date. Do you know more about it now? I've heard. Oh God. So I'm trying to be like very careful. I'll probably talk about it on my own podcast, which I was going to do tonight, but I was so shattered I didn't do it. Yeah, I'm hearing things about, you know, multiple, I don't know, like types of directs or presentations, but like I've tried to keep saying to people to like, you know, don't get too excited. I'm still trying to verify it, so I'm happy. Some people have asked me, what do you mean by verify? And so like how I like to feel comfortable about something I hear is either to get it verified by a second source, or when I get a date, an actual date for it. So because then that makes me think, okay, like it's set in stone, at least to the point. Maybe the date might not happen to the day, but at least I know that, you know, various people have known about it and seen it and whatever. And so that makes me believe it more.
Talking about a direct?
Yeah, someone was asking me like what I stated earlier. And so I said, yeah, I have heard information out there that was talking about a type of direct or presentation. But what I was saying is that I'm still in the process of trying to get the what was the word? The confirmation that I need to feel happy with it, to put it out and to say, yes, I think this is going to happen, because now I'm happy I've got A, B, and C. And at the moment, what I've heard is I've heard information about different things, but I'm still trying to verify it. And I'm trying to basically there's different parts to this. I'm happy with part of the information I've heard. I'm happy with, but there's other stuff that I still need to get clarified. So that's where it is. That's where it is. I'm starting to hear stuff, and things seem to be happening in April anyway. A lot of things seem to be happening. So yeah, it's for now. I just say, you know, that's where it is. Just I don't know. I haven't got verification or confirmation on the type of presentation it is.
You've heard about a presentation.
I heard about, yeah, like a type of.
Can it be an indie showcase?
Sorry?
Could it be an indie showcase? An indie world of some kind?
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, here's the thing. Some people ask me like about generals, and I haven't heard anything about general. I haven't heard anything about general. But the thing is, so people say, oh, well, then there isn't one. I said, well, no, it just means I haven't heard about one. I don't know. There's a lot of the time, the general, you know, first party stuff I don't hear about as much. So it's just I don't know. I simply don't know about a general.
You hear me?
Sorry?
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you. I don't know why I'm shouting.
I don't know if you guys can read this on my little whiteboard here.
No, I don't think we can.
I'm gonna have a little fun with this. I'm not gonna tell you what it says, but if you can read it, then you can read it.
So like the basic answer is that I've heard some things, but I'm not willing to say yes. I think it's for sure happening. I'm still trying to work out through it and see how legitimate the information is that I'm hearing. Is where I'm at. So yeah, but it's I don't know. I'm going to talk about it on a podcast one day, because I'm kind of torn between giving my opinions, but then I'm worried that you make opinions and then people think it's like you're giving facts or statements, and no, you know, I've realized that now, that I can't give my own opinions because people think I'm hinting at something or not, and it's not.
I'm hinting at something. I don't know.
What did you
I don't know. I'm hinting at a video idea.
Oh, Zelda. Is it Zelda? It is, right?
What did you say? I put on my
I need to
headset.
make
I
my
hear what you
screen
said.
bigger. Hold on. Zelda. Oh man. Zelda's 40th anniversary.
You probably can't read my whiteboard chicken scratch.
No, so like the final thing I'll say is because as I said, like, and Under this has already said it, like right, like I've already decided to like stop getting into leagues. I just find it stressful, and the reason I find it stressful is because I don't know, like I really there's two things I really stresses me out the most, and one is letting people down who get excited by something, you know, and not just that. And so I feel like I got a responsibility to that. So that's why, like, I'll check something 100 times before, you know, over weeks before I say it. But then also, like, you know, like you, like Andres, like someone who might cover it. Like, I feel a massive responsibility to make sure as much as I can that what I'm hearing is legit and it's going to happen, so that someone doesn't make a video on it and then get backlash from people in chats if it doesn't happen. So like I always feel really heavy, those things on my shoulder, when I hear something, I'm deciding whether to talk about it. And so my way of doing it is just like I'll sit on something and I'll ask about it literally 50, 60, 70 times over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and like try and be as meticulous as possible. And so far that's worked out for me that way, you know, like I've been very lucky in that I've waited and it's served well. You know, and so, but after a while, it's just it's a lot. It's like, you know, it's almost not fun, and it's like I've had stuff that I've heard and I've got confirmed literally 50 times, and even at the point when I'm gonna like publish it, like I almost feel sick with anxiety. And even like when I'm like the direct in February, up until the point that Nintendo tweeted about it, that was the only time I could relax, you know. It was just, it's just a lot. And so, I don't know. For me, I'd rather not risk getting people excited for something that might not happen. And you know, and I feel like if the longer I go, at some point, I'll get something wrong. And the moment that I get something wrong, I think that I'll be way too anxious to carry on doing it after that. So that's why I think it's just better just to leave now. It's been a nice run. We'll see what happens with this thing I'm hearing in April. That'll be. I'm not even going to talk about it much up until I get an update on it. Either way, and then I'll say yes. It's either it's happening or I couldn't verify it, and so I don't know. We'll see. But that'll be. You know, I said to someone cheekily, maybe I'll do predictions, you know, in the future. maybe I'll have fun with that. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just risky, man. Like, people get excited, and I don't like to risk. You know, I don't like to risk letting people down with what could be bad info. It's just, you know, and especially when you're friends, like I'm, you know, friends with Andres, and so like, yeah, the idea that I'll put something out that he makes a video on is bad. That anxiety that alone gives me is too much. Like, you know, to keep risking it every time with something else I hear, you know. So other people can do it and it's fine, you know. Like I said, I know Nash. I know when he put out the GTA rumor. Trust me, I spoke to him for about 3 or 4 days in a row after that, and he was stressed out about, like, you know, oh god, like, you know, like I hope like I haven't let people down, hopefully, you know, and worrying about the information and that. So yeah, you know. But and the thing is, people are like, oh, you want to get clicks and whatever. I don't think I've ever made a video about anything I've heard myself. I don't think I've ever made a single video about it. Like, I've never used it to get more views on my channel. I've had Nash on, right, as a podcast when he's spoken about stuff, but I myself have never made a video about something that I've heard, you know, and that's it. So I usually just say on X and that's it. So, but yeah, but that's it. But again, with April, I'm just trying to verify it still. I've heard some things, and I want to get confirmation to where I'm happy with it before I say yes or no.
Clearly, this is very stressful for you.
Stressful, mate.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like people are freaking out about what I wrote down. I want to make it clear I am not leaking anything. I am not leaking anything. But you are.
What did I say? Hey, is that not something that everyone has spoken about and just assumed it is being there ready to be released?
All right, so I'll just tell you what I wrote down. I wrote down Zelda 40th anniversary. No, I wrote down Zelda 3D All Stars 40th anniversary.
Right.
Yeah. If you recently heard that both Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD are happening, and we've also heard about an Ocarina of Time HD. If we're to, I'm just looking at a world. I'm looking at a world where everything you have heard, Dash Weedle has heard, Nate the Hate has heard, Special Nick has heard, Nintendo has heard, right? You five are the 5 insiders that come to mind to me that have a track history of getting things correct. That have mentioned something about Zelda or not. Just kind of like, I'm trying to imagine a world where all of you are correct here, right? The idea that we're getting Zelda amiibos this year, the idea that there's a Zelda remake coming, the idea that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD are correct, the idea that there is an Ocarina of Time 3D HD coming, but also that there's still the big boy, actual exciting reimagined remake that we've been theorizing on for a long time. Like, the idea that all that is true. If that is all true, which, massive grain of salt, but if that is all true, the only world where it actually makes sense is if we get a Zelda 3D All-Stars this year.
If people are like, that's a really good idea, ready, boom, mini. Hold on. Let me just say quickly, though. I literally didn't
attack the backlog leaks Zelda 3D All-Stars for the 40th anniversary. Tomorrow's title, Reliable Leaker Leaks Zelda 3D All-Star. I'm telling you right now, I think it's a really good video that people are gonna like, but I'll have to be like calculated about how I make the title and
Yeah, no. But honestly, I literally didn't even respond to it. I tell you how it even
right, you thought nothing of it. You thought nothing of it.
I literally, I promise you, like, because I tell you what,
you told me it. But here's the thing, though: the timing matters. Like, we heard about these years ago.
But so I'm trying to think what we were talking about before, because I was talking initially about the lack of in my conversation, right? The lack of first party Nintendo announcements, right? Like, where's Mario? Where's Zelda? And I think I made some kind of joke like, God damn, man, I'm gonna be like 49 by the time Zelda comes out or gets shown. And they responded, well, like, like there's Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to pad out the weight. Is that a way to say it? To have in there. But they didn't say anything about, I don't know, NSO or the HDs. I guess, I don't know. But I literally my response was literally, oh man, Twilight Princess, best Zelda of all time. And that's it. But I think it's because we were talking about other things, and that just happened to be in there.
One of the reasons it would make sense because we just got Wind Waker for GameCube Classics, right?
Yeah, but so that's it.
Kind of right, but like to drop Wind Waker HD is like a special release is like kind of meh. But to do a Zelda 3D All Stars where it's the Wind Waker HD version, but Twilight Princess HD version,
I would
and the Ocarina of Time 3D HD version, then that kind of
yeah, just about as an opinion, right? Like, if someone asked me, do you think they're going to release the HD, Twilight Princess and was it in Wind Waker? I'd be like, surely they're gonna do that. I think I asked Nash that one time, and he didn't, not in a way of like, have you heard anything, but just in conversation. And I think he said something like, yeah, but they'd have to be like, they wouldn't be HD versions, they'd be like 4K versions, right? Like Switch 2 edition, 4K, whatever. It'd be like
the same difference though, because I think the thing is though, I actually think the Zelda 3D All Stars thing would come for Switch and Switch 2. It would be like the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2.
Oh yeah,
it would be a Switch title. It would be one of the last. The Zelda 3D All Stars thing would be a Switch 1 title with a Switch 2 upres. So they might even still. They won't call it HD though. What I'm telling you what it is. The Legend of Zelda 3D. Okay. Like it probably wouldn't be All Stars because that's a play on Mario's naming scheme. They would have to come. It would have to be like the Triforce Tales or some deadly squad. Yeah. I mean, actually, what's interesting is that those 3 titles did have to do with the Triforce. I think I'm cooking here. Actually, I think I'm cooking here. the Triforce would be related, because like it's actually interesting because Breath of the Wild, Triforce is like not relevant to the story until the very end for like a brief moment. Not in Tears of the Kingdom, not relevant in Majora's Mask either, by the way. I'll just put that out there. Not relevant in Skyward Sword that I can remember, but it is a huge plot point in Ocarina of Time, a huge plot point in The Wind Waker, and a huge plot point in Twilight Princess. Like, the Triforce of Power is what keeps Ganondorf alive in Twilight Princess. The Triforce of the Triforce battle is the whole final act of The Wind Waker, right? And the Triforce stories is told in Ocarina of Time, and the struggle between the three, right? So, The Legend of Zelda Triforce something. I haven't quite figured out the name, but it makes a lot of sense.
Oh man, it would be.
And you want to know why it makes more sense? Because they're going to do a live-action Zelda movie, and they need to remind people of the core Zelda story, which ties into the Triforce. So,
I mean, this got
which also might have to do with the title of the movie, the same way Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 have to do with the title of the Mario movie. So
they're sitting there. They're definitely sitting.
The weird thing I'm going to say though is this: if we get the Zelda 3D All Stars thing, right? It's still not going to answer the call for what we need. We still won't have the Switch 2 Zelda, right? The same Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are not answering the call for 3D Mario, right? It might, tide things over a little bit, but these are old Mario games. This doesn't show what Switch 2 can do.
Yeah.
And now maybe Nintendo will not show off. I think they got to tease something. Maybe they don't have to tease anything for Zelda this year, but historically speaking, they've teased the future of Zelda every anniversary and early on into every console lifecycle, and they're both aligned here. So it would, from a historical precedent perspective, it would be off for them to not tease the future of Zelda this year. And we also saw those comments from Anuma from the interview in December, where he was pretty strongly implying that Nintendo, the Zelda team, wanted to have something for Zelda early on for Switch 2. I really don't think he meant a Zelda 3D All-Stars either, because that's not really showing off the Switch 2. And also, we're talking about this as a Switch 1 title that would just have like a little up-res on Switch 2, right? And so I wonder what that is, right? Like, if we're to leave, again, I'm thinking about this from the perspective of everyone's right, I think some people like to say, well, that's wrong, or like, that's the easier thing. I'm trying to think of a world where this is all accurate, right? How far off is the remake? Is it so far off we have to wait until after the next 3D Zelda? Because it would seem weird to me to release Ocarina of Time Remake next year if they're going to do a Zelda 3D All-Stars this year. Seem a little weird to me.
I mean, because you're adding a lot of Zeldas together. At what point, if there's the 3DS remake, whatever, All Stars, and then the next, big Zelda game, and then the remake. I mean, like, where do you fit all those things in? And something tells me the next Zelda game is not. I don't think it's soon, but I don't think that it's maybe as far away as. Well,
that's a big part to the remake speculation. That they give us the remake to truly tide us over, to give us because that would be giving us a proper next gen offering, it's just, I think they can do the Zelda 3D All-Stars thing with Ocarina of Time 3DS included, right? And that doesn't necessarily take away from the big remake, but I do think it would suggest that it's not coming out like next year. The remake, the big boy remake, right? And so then that has me wonder, how long do we have to wait for a proper next gen Zelda offering? I mean, if we go by what Nash is saying, we're a long ways off. like he doesn't even see. It doesn't seem to think even next year is as a possibility from the way he words those things. That
Yeah,
right?
I think he
And
said
again, but I'll also say when it comes to timing, Nash has been
Yeah.
that's not a strong point. You know,
yeah, I don't know. I just feel
but
like
then they just built the Ocarina of Time Lego set too. Like this
Yeah.
stuff feels like this doesn't feel like it would be far off either. I don't know, but maybe
the Ocarina, you
all,
mean?
yeah, but maybe
Yeah.
it does play more into the Zelda 3 All Stars idea.
To me, I just feel all the references to Ocarina are purposeful. I don't know to what, but they definitely feel to me as something planned, strategic.
Okay, I'm gonna put a poll. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just kind
No,
of
no.
you know, I feel like we're just like brainstorming here, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I need the help of you in the chat. I need you to send me the last 3 digits in the back of your credit card. Don't do that. Do not do that. That's a reference to a meme. Do not do that. I'm still planning on getting to chat stuff, right? It's just these things they're happening, right? All right, but I need your help. Do you think if all right. If oh wait, hold on a second. Is Risky in the chat?
Yeah, I've just seen
Where is he?
like
Where is
5
he?
from the bottom. All you idiots, nothing but Nintendo losers, PlayStation King, and always will be.
All right. Put user at timeout. Remove report. Oh, I banned him forever. Actually, he'll probably create another alt account. The other day, he called me an idiot. So,
I was gonna. Yeah, I think I him on my chat as well.
so like I've tried to be nice to this guy for years, right? I've tried to be patient for years. People in the chat do not enjoy his constant negativity and antagonism. But I've tried to be, nice in the spirit of respecting opinions. But then you call me an idiot. Granted, I was calling people on the internet an idiot in general. I wasn't selecting anyone out. But you took that opportunity on Twitter to say that I'm an idiot. So I'm banning you. You called me an idiot, which I find to be idiotic if you want to be in the chat. So just saying.
Yeah.
Learn a lesson. You'll probably come back with a nod eventually anyway.
I was just going to respond to something quickly. Someone said something earlier, and I don't remember saying it, so I just wanted to correct them. But someone was user saying ATB ambiguity regarding question whether it could be on Indie World, which should be known if you know anything about the contents are dubious. I don't think I heard you ask if it was an Indie World. I think I heard something else. But the only thing I'll say is that I didn't hear an Indie World. I didn't hear the contents I heard about were, big games, a big showcase. But yeah, not an indie.
All right, so I'm trying to phrase this question that fits within my, amount. The question is, can Nintendo tease a OOT reimagined shortly after a Zelda All-Stars that also has old OOT, Ocarina of Time?
Where could I see that?
Well, I think it's fine enough. I think you guys... no, it's not. It's not fine. NS2 is for Switch 2, by the way. So I think it's fine. I'm putting the poll.
Oh, okay. It hasn't come up yet now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just put the poll.
I mean, because
the thing is, I feel like the answer is I'm kind of like I'm skeptical, right? But I want to see what you guys in the chat think, and just so I basically asked, can Nintendo tease a Ocarina of Time reimagined Nintendo Switch 2 version shortly after a Zelda All-Stars that also has old Ocarina of Time? 10 votes in, it's 9-1. but we'll see what happens. Like, but like, I don't know what I mean. So 7 Remake, right? They actually have an HD version of the OG available. They had that available before 7 Remake, right? And they also have an HD version of Resident Evil 4 before Resident Evil 4 Reimagined, right? So other companies
yeah,
have
right.
done
I completely forgot about those. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like both the original Final Fantasy 7 and original Resident Evil 4 have been remastered and reissued several times. But what I wonder is, so I don't think this would rule out. There's other companies have done it. Nintendo, I mean, basically kind of did it with just Galaxy recently. But I'm more so worried about the suggestion of the timing of how long we have to wait for this project if it is indeed happening. So we'll see. I mean, I would love it if the Ocarina of Time remake is what is coming. It is reimagined. I mean, what would be interesting actually, if it's, you know how A Link to the Past, they wanted to do a sequel for that or a remake for that, if I'm not mistaken, and it morphed into a sequel. It's a remake that morphed into a sequel.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that something similar happened with Echoes of Wisdom as well, maybe. Is it possible that maybe the Ocarina of Time remake morphed into something a little bit different, but based off that time, you know, like it's like a quicker Zelda offering, you know, that's using that world remade. Maybe it's retelling the story, but from a slightly different perspective because of the timeline thing. You know, it's kind of telling us what happened with the Fallen Hero timeline or something like. And so if it's telling a different tale, like a different take on Ocarina of Time, then I think that makes more sense. You know, like we're playing this Zelda remake, but it's not really it's like, I mean, for example, Final Fantasy VII Remake is not really a remake, right? So if that is kind of how it's framed, maybe they could even tease that in the same direct, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not predicting this for April. Just so we're clear.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
God, I don't know. Like, my default is always, see, the thing is, I almost believe the 3DS thing because I can't believe it. Because, like, you know, after the Mario, sorry,
because it sucks.
Yeah, because of the Mario All Stars 1, you know, with Mario Galaxy 1, not getting to how little they did with Mario 64. But if it's a collection, though,
I'm okay if it's a collection. I actually don't.
Oh, it is a collection, yeah.
But if it's a single release, I'm like, all right, well,
oh man,
someone needs to get fired, Nintendo.
Maybe they do release that with Twilight and Wind Waker. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do think they're going to do something to celebrate the anniversary with older games.
Yeah,
for sure. And with those games, you know, but oh man, I don't know, man. Honestly, Nintendo worries me sometimes, like, you know, and with like how much they're finding it difficult to organize themselves with like releasing, you know, games for the Switch 2. Like on top of that, like worrying about the anniversary and getting like a big project like that in order as well. And man, like, you know. Like, I don't know. I think there is something to the Ocarina for sure. I think there is. I just don't know what. And like you said, like to release 2 at the same time, or you know, in the same generation, to release a semi remaster and then in a proper big fat remake. It's just like if it was like exactly if it was like Capcom, I'd be like, yeah, man, I see them doing that. You know, even Sega, but like Nintendo. I don't know, man.
So, but here's the thing. If they announce this Ocarina of Time remaster, this basic lame remaster, you know, now it wouldn't be as lame if it's in the collection, to be clear, right?
Yeah.
But if that is announced, people are going to give up on the remake. You know, we're going to need substantial evidence to the contrary. You know, people are going to give up on it. Like, even if they don't, it doesn't necessarily discount it. People are going to give up on it, right?
You know, I just thought, like,
unless Nintendo unless they tease it as well in the same presentation. And I think that would be the smart thing to do. Because to be quite honest with you, I think a lot of people, myself included, are going to be like, well, this sucks, right? Like
I think they'll be a bit more vocal than that.
but here's the other thing. It doesn't have to be Ocarina of Time Remake. It just has to be a tease for the future of 3D Zelda that's Switch 2 exclusive, like something that's going to be like showing what the Switch 2 can do.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So whatever that is, if they tease that, that's fine, you know.
Yeah, like they'll grab the 3DS Ocarina of Time and put DLSS 5 on it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. That would probably look like one of them. It will look like Unreal Engine 5. You know? Yeah. Anyway, there's some chats I want to get to. I still haven't gotten to live chats, but what's interesting is that Christopher Spreezy's super chat kind of had us go in a whole other direction. An interesting direction.
Absolutely.
But Boo Mini with the super chat from earlier. Click like and subscribe. You can do it.
Yeah.
I agree with Boo Mini. Thank you for the super chat. Please do. Demonic Brawler. I would love Twilight Princess on Switch 2. I've never played it.
Oh, it's the best one.
A lot of people would love it. You know, while people might be underwhelmed by an Ocarina of Time 3D upscaled, a Twilight Princess on Switch 2, I think a lot of people would be like, "Oh, give me some of that." Yeah, yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's funny. I always say it's my favorite, and the most nostalgic one for me is Ocarina. Like, I was 16 when it came out. It was the first time I was ever upset when I finished a game. Like, I was so sad it finished. It's the first time I ever felt like that about a game, and like it just seemed so huge, right? Like, people would laugh at it now. They saw the how small the world was, but back then it just seemed massive. But I just think, for me, Twilight Princess does a lot of things better. It might not have that initial same magic because it's, you know, because a lot of it's got a lot of the same ideas, the same dungeons in that sense, you know, themed and all this kind of stuff. So I can't give it like the same respect as Ocarina in that sense. But there's just so, like, I love the art style. I love how dark it is. The music's haunting. The weapons you get. I can't remember what's the weapon called? The one that you jump on, it spins on
spinner.
Is it? Oh, it's just a spinner. Just a spinner. That, you know, that the way you use that in the dungeon when you're going up the building with the rails and you use it to attack. It's my favorite portrayal of Zelda. I think she looks so badass in the hood when she's mysterious in the beginning. Like, oh, it's just, I love that. I love that game. Midna's incredible. Zant, to me, it's like the best ever second villain. Whatever, you know, that game's just magic to me. I could play it on a loop. I love it. Sorry.
No apologies. Yeah, man. The thing is, I have Twilight Princess for my Wii U. I've replayed it recently. Same thing with the Maker. Yeah. So I was just thinking about it. I might not even care for the Zelda 3D All Stars just because I have access. To
you got it now. Yeah.
You know. But they're always worth a replay every few years, so you know I might pick it up. Especially if it's like upscaled to 4K, which would be nice. I mean, you know, Wind Waker would look even better in 4K versus 720p. So
yeah, man,
that would be nice. Yeah. Now, continuing with the chats though. Another super chat from Demonic Brawler. Thank you. The Legend of Zelda Triforce Legacy Collection made by Monolith Soft.
Honestly, man, I would just let Monolith Softs. I'd let them loose on Zelda. I really would. I think they're ready.
So, like, would this be like them giving all of them the definitive edition treatment? Be wild.
Yeah.
Be wild.
Yeah, I think, man, I would love to see it. But I would love to see them make an original Zelda.
Yeah,
like, I think it'd be incredible. Like with the scores they come up with in Xenoblade, like and the storytelling and the world building. Oh my, I can't even imagine. You know, funny enough, I remember when, what the hell was it? It would have been Breath of the Wild. I didn't love it initially. Like, I don't know. There's parts I'd love, and I was kind of a bit torn. And in between that, I would play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And it's funny, like, I found the things that I was missing in Breath of the Wild in Xenoblade, right? So, like, the amount of storytelling, the use of music, the cinematics. And oh god, man, like that game is just so incredible. And yeah, if you gave them the chance to do an offshoot story about Zelda, Princess Zelda, or whatever, man, I can't even imagine. It'd be incredible.
I mean, I agree. I think they could do something special for sure. Absolutely. I'm just kind of thinking about this name here because this Triforce Legacy Collection, I think, would be pretty close to a Zelda equivalent for a 3D All Stars. I like you could even cut out collection, like the Legend of Zelda Triforce Legacy. Like,
yeah, it's Legacy.
That makes sense, but I understand the Monolith Soft reference because one, Monolith Soft works for Zelda, and like Project Legacy, like the rumor of the other project, the project they've worked on for so many years. But also, I don't think Monolith Soft would just remake an entire trilogy of Zelda games for one pack. That's not something they would do. We've seen something like that happen with there's like the Spyro remake trilogy, which is neat. I think you could buy it all together with the Crash remake trilogy or both, which is kind of cool that what Activision did that. I don't see Monolith Soft being chosen by Nintendo. You know, that's Monolith Soft is one of Nintendo's developers to do that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do think Monolith Soft could work on something else Zelda, and I also think that this name of Triforce Legacy, maybe adding collection or not, just makes so much sense for like an all-star style release for the anniversary. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Anyway, I know I missed some chats in the live chat, so I'm gonna try and get to them now. Hopefully they're still there.
The Monit was asking whether Monolith Soft is making the new Star Fox. I mean, we spoke about that briefly, didn't we? It's one of the things that came up, but I think we both think Ubisoft is more likely now. I think. Yeah,
I mean, the fact that Nash Riedel brought it up, it does have me wondering: is he doing like a hinty hint thing? And there is that history, but I mean, I just don't. While some of the hiring posts do suggest it's an action game, it also suggests it's a game with a fantasy medieval influence, which Star Fox adventure style game could have. And you know, I actually do want to go back to the Star Fox thing because there's a point I wanted to cover. I think when you look at this design, it does evoke a more sporty, mobile look for Star Fox. An expressive look for Star Fox. I think it's important. I go back to what I was talking about earlier about, hey, Metroid Prime could probably sell better if they included a third-person mode. An option, not replacing, to be clear. One or the other, you could choose. But, you know, I think the idea is to, like, most Nintendo fans care about the characters. Nintendo's acknowledged this in their investors, that the characters are their most important asset. That's why they're pushing things with the movies and such. Yeah, and we're seeing Star Fox being showcased in this way. Look how expressive he looks. Like, I love his new design. Like, now he has like darkened tip he's a more real. It's a more proper looking fox. You know, he's actually looks more like a fox now than before.
Yeah, but, you know, like, I never even looked at it, but you're right. You're totally right. Yeah,
because prior designs didn't have like this extra detail. The snout was never as long. But you know, this also looks very expressive, right? And so I think it's very good for storytelling. And you look at what happened after the Mario movie in 2023. Mario Wonder came out. All the Mario characters got a facelift. There's a lot more expression to them. Mario Kart World, the facial expressions, like this is like Nintendo's new thing that they are trying. They're making all their modern characters in their modern games far more expressive. I think it is in part related to the movies, this big push to kind of help people to be more attached to the characters. I think this extends to Star Fox here. And so, you know, I think we're going to get a game where we're going to see the character move around, not just stuck in the R-Wing. You know, thinking about, I brought the Metroid thing, like these Nintendo games that seem to not sell well are the ones that don't showcase their characters as much. Star Fox, characters in the R-Wing all the time. Samus, always in first person, so you don't see her that much.
Doesn't talk.
Captain Falcon, well, not sometimes, but not enough. Captain Falcon, just in the ship all the time. And so, I mean, there's challenges with that stuff, right? Yeah. But I think, you know, Nintendo finding ways to showcase these characters more so people can grow more attached to them, I think is important. And so I'm not saying they should go the Star Fox Adventures route exactly. But I do think maybe an element of that makes a lot of sense, actually. Have some third person adventuring around as Star Fox. I mean, you look at Star Wars Outlaws, another game made by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
It's got the space exploration, right? It's got the space battles, the flying around stuff, right? But it also has the third person adventuring, you know? So Ubisoft has tech from Starlink and Star Wars Outlaws. By the way, Star Fox is obviously inspired from Star Wars, you know, that it's in the name. Incorporating elements from both, you know, they have the tech is my point, right? They have the tech to do this. It makes a lot of sense. So I think, you know, in ideal world here, there is a Star Fox game that has a lot of third person elements where he's exploring around, but still retains a lot of R-Wing Landmaster gameplay as well. I'm not talking about a Star Fox adventure ratio where you have a few minutes of R-Wing gameplay as a reference and it's basically a Star Fox Zelda game. No. No. But maybe a 60-40 ratio, a 50-50 ratio. I think that is maybe the ticket for Star Fox in terms of gameplay. I think that would be really, really cool. I already mentioned how they could fix that for Metroid. I don't know how you fix that for Captain Falcon. Maybe it's racing, but there is kind of I don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't because.
I don't know if they even worry about F-Zero, Nintendo. I think I'm not even sure they know what to do with it anymore. I don't know. Someone else said it a while ago, right? Well, wasn't it an ex-dev or was it one of the original Star Fox devs? It was someone an old developer, ex-developer from Nintendo said in an interview. I wish I could remember who it was, but they said that they didn't think Nintendo knew what to do with F-Zero anymore. They just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, but I also think the F-Zero 99 thing was done with intention.
I always thought that was a clear test to see how people engage with it and see if the passion was there for the franchise. And people loved it when it came out. So I fully expected that to be a kind of jump point for them to. I always thought, man, you could have given it to. Is it Shinnon? You know, the guys who do Fast RMX, and it's man, you've got the team right there, and they would kill at that.
I'll just say that I dislike the perspective of Shinnon that the fast games are a replacement for F-Zero. Because they're very different to me. I think some people see them. Oh, futuristic racers are all the same.
No,
they're not.
They're definitely
the same. They all feel really different.
Yes, but I feel like they could do it though. I feel like they.
I agree with that take. I think they could, in theory, if given the resources, and expand the team a bit. They are really good at making fast, beautiful racing games on Nintendo hardware. That is clear. So I'm not against the idea, but like I said, I think they have to expand a little bit. But also, I don't think that solves the problem of putting on an F-Zero game that's going to sell.
No, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what you do with it.
I don't know, because the problem with Mario Kart sells so well because of the characters, but also. It's so easy to pick up and play. Everyone can play Mario Kart. You know? F-Zero is not that kind of game.
Yeah,
it just isn't. So I don't even know what you do. Maybe the secret is just make a good game and just pray that people play good games.
Yeah,
maybe it's that simple. Just make a good game. I guess F-Zero GX. Was a great game. It's maybe my favorite racing game ever.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It was extremely hard.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. So someone says Dark Souls is hard. Dark Souls is freaking cake. Dark Souls is Dark Souls is I don't know, gummy bears compared to F-Zero GX. And by the way, I love the difficulty in the Souls games. It's one of the reasons I like challenging games, and they are very challenging. Sometimes frustrating, dauntingly so.
Oh,
And
man,
I'm telling
hard.
you, F-Zero GX makes that look like
Yeah.
it makes it look like a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Sega, man, we're gonna make it so hard. We're gonna turn people
Yeah.
against Nintendo's own franchises.
Yeah. F-Zero GX sales. Well, you know what's wild? I don't even think this is a bad sales. I'm looking at F-Zero GX on Nintendo GameCube sold how much? Guess.
I'm gonna say like 2.5 million.
All right, well, okay. Not that well. 1.5 million copies.
Oh, still, but about 1.5. Yeah, because the
back
machine
then,
sold 20 million.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually like kind of surprised that they didn't think that was enough. And so what's interesting is that, I don't think F-Zero needs to become a series that sells 20 million copies for Nintendo to invest into it, right? I mean, if we look at what an indie developer can do with the Shinen, right? That's an indie budget,
Yeah. Yeah.
So like in today's day and age, with the proper marketing, the proper setup, can they not make proper F-Zero with, that's not insanely expensive, and it can be a series that sells 2 to 3 million. They do it for Fire Emblem. They do it for Xenoblade. Why can't they do that for F-Zero?
Yeah.
I don't think that I mean, that seems pretty reasonable, right? Like Nintendo has multiple IP that only sell 1.5 to 3 million copies. Yes. And they're still pretty cool, fairly ambitious games. Not like extreme ambitious, but fairly ambitious. And I think F-Zero could fall into that category. If GX could sell 1.5 on GameCube, I feel like a new F-Zero could definitely exceed that. And even if it didn't, if it had the right budget, if, like, for example, if it was kind of like just like a slightly bolstered up Shinen project, 1.5 would still probably net them some good profit and would still put them in a position where they would want to have successful, successors, like continued entries every few years, like once per generation or once every 4 years or so or something.
But that's the thing as well, like, because you don't want it to become a franchise that just people forget about, and it's just the old school, the old heads that remember it, and then the new kids get here and they don't care for it, so they don't care if it has been 10, 15, 20, 30 years that one comes up, and then they just forget about it. And the thing is, they kind of replace it with other franchises that are selling more, that aren't the Marios and Animal Crossings and Zeldas, but they're still like the Pikmins, the Splatoons and stuff like that, right? Those are those are the next wave. So like all of a sudden F-Zero is just it's not even a thought anymore, right? Because they're juggling so many things. Luigi's Mansion, is a different franchise now. That's its own thing as well. That's so the Mario sports games, they still sell millions. The Mario Party games. I feel like F-Zero is just in danger of just being a thing that in 30 years. I remember that racing game. It's just gonna get forgotten about unless they do something very different with it. And I don't know. I just don't think they're bothered by it. I don't think it's not a priority, sadly. It's a shame. Yeah. Like, how many people in the chat I'd love to know, like, have played it? Have played F-Zero? Like, all the old heads will play it, right? But
how many people have played the greatest racing series of all time?
I'd be intrigued, like, to see, because you have to think about, I don't know. Let's go back to, all right, the Wii. So the Wii was 2006. So we're talking 20 years ago now. So anyone whose first console was the Wii, and it's 20 years old now, they might not never played an F-Zero, and that's just from the Wii. So anyone that's come to Nintendo after that,
it's a good point, actually. The more I think about it, like, because Star Fox at least had Star Fox Zero on Wii U, right?
Yeah. At least.
And Donkey Kong had the 2D games going on Wii.
Yeah,
right.
Wii U.
And the DLC, like, both Star Fox and Donkey Kong, while they didn't have big entries on Switch, Nintendo still did stuff for them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in fairness, they did do stuff for F-Zero. They had F-Zero 99. So there's that. But I mean, did they do anything on 3DS or like? Yeah, they stopped with Game Boy Advance with F-Zero entries on handheld also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was that whole F-Zero GX remaster rumor, but the problem now is that with GameCube Classics, I feel like you just do that. I mean, they did actually. F-Zero GX is available for on GameCube Classics.
How dare you forget about the greatest racing game of all time?
Yeah, I did. I've played it. I enjoy it. Like I said, it's my favorite racing game ever.
Demonic's like, I played it, but I'll be 42 in July. Oh, I'm still older, 1 year older than him. God damn it. Oh,
thanks.
But that's what I mean. A few people in the chat haven't played it, and who is it? The Watcher. I haven't, and I had a Wii. Yes, this is what I mean. I always try and stay conscious of: is it something that because I'm an older player, I think it's more, it's bigger than it is. But
Nintendo brings back stuff, right? The Famicom Detective Club, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they did F-Zero 99 is something, right? Another Code, Endless Ocean shouldn't have come back, but that did.
Oh, they ruined it. I loved Endless Ocean on the Wii, but they ruined it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't play it, but I don't feel like it's. You're an Endless Ocean fan, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Did you played it?
Yeah.
It wasn't free. It wasn't.
Nah, it felt empty. It felt like the sports game is just like not finished. Like no content. It was so
it's interesting because I actually really like Switch Sports.
No. Sorry, not the sports, not the Wii Sports. I meant the newer Mario sports game. So like right, but I'm thinking of like on the Switch, right? So like Mario Golf, like they all work amazing, like mechanically, but they had no content, and I kind of felt like that with the Endless Ocean on Switch. It was missing content. And I think, man, this game could be so good. It's so chill, dude, especially for old people like me. Just there, just chilling out with the fish, man. It's the most chill game. But yeah, it just felt empty. Such a shame. Because they had that whole thing that looked amazing where you could swim around with 16 people online. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I like the option. That was quite cool, man. Just swimming around with your friends next to dolphins and whales and stuff. But yeah, it's a shame. I hope they make another one, but I don't know if they will.
But the point is, though, is that they did bring back Endless Ocean. They did bring back another Code. They did bring back, I forget, I mentioned Famicom Detective Club, right? All small, low-budget efforts.
Yeah.
They did bring them back, though. I feel like with F-Zero, Nintendo doesn't want to do it wrong, Yeah. Because the thing is, Captain Falcon he's one of the OGs. He's one of the Smash characters. And that's where I have some more hope here, because Captain Falcon is one of the OG. He's one of those. He's a part of the initial Smash cast, right? Obviously, Pikachu. Nintendo does Pokemon Code does Pikachu justice. Mario and Luigi get their justice. Link gets his justice, right? Kirby gets his justice. So that's I don't know how I got to that's 5, right? So then now DK and Star Fox are getting their justice, right? So who's left? Captain Falcon, Yoshi gets his justice, right?
Yeah.
Well, who hasn't gotten their justice yet is Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Ness.
Oh God, Ness. Yeah, bless him. Yeah.
And is there anyone else? Well, Jigglypuff doesn't count. It's a Pokemon character.
The disrespect.
Yeah. Jigglypuff has been in many Pokemon games. So, but those are the two: Captain Falcon and Star Fox was, And by the way, I'm seeing you guys bring up Kid Icarus in the chat. Yeah, I want to see Kid Icarus come back too. I think Kid Icarus is they brought it back in Brawl, and I feel like Kid Icarus deserves to be in that conversation as well. And there are some new characters now that get that love, like Splatoon, like the Inkling girls, the villagers from Animal Crossing, and they are deserving as well. But But my point is going to the original Smash Cast though. Like, if we had to pick between Ness and Captain Falcon is going to be the one that's going to make a. By the way, I'm not giving up on Ness either. I'm not giving up on him. But there's not really much reason to not go. Like with Ness, though, the creator doesn't want to make any more story for Earthbound.
Yeah.
So that it is what it is. But with Captain Falcon, there's no reason it should stop. So, yeah.
Maybe he's in the Mario movie. Maybe.
Bro, what if?
Exactly. That'd be perfect. This movie is going to make over $1 billion. You know, it's going to make a stupid amount of money. It's going to be seen by a crazy amount of people, way more than any direct they could ever push down, people's throats. So it's the perfect time again, which is why Fox McCloud is on that poster, right? It's just the smartest marketing thing you can do. So yeah, that's why. But again, that's why I would have Samus also. That's why I'd have Samus. That's exactly the same reason, especially if you got a 2D game coming out at some point.
Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't mention Samus from the original Smash Cast.
Oh yeah, you see, she's forgotten. No one remembers her.
But I mean, but the thing is, Samus has gotten her games though.
Well, you mentioned Samus.
Samus has gotten her games though. We just got Metroid Prime 4. We got Metroid Prime Remastered. We got Metroid Dread. A new 2D Metroid seems to be around the corner. Like Samus is here to stay. There's debate about the Metroid Prime series continuing. The 2D Metroid is not going anywhere.
Nah.
Right? So.
Nah, they're happy.
Oh, by the way, I didn't bring up Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem, I don't know who you pick to be like the star of that series, but Fire Emblem is going to be, I think that's also something we should be expecting more from. Not just there's the games with movie, like it's some involvement with the movies somehow,
I'm a little worried about the next one, I don't know why.
And Xenoblade, of course. Xenoblade.
Oh, Jesus,
right?
yeah.
The
next
Fire Emblem. Honestly, Nintendo has a lot, and I think that's part of the issue. It's tough to find the different teams that can do this justice. What's cool is that Mercury Steam can handle 2D Metroid now, and they're not a Nintendo developer, but they're working with Nintendo. If Ubisoft is indeed helping out with Star Fox, that could be great, right? So I think it's just about finding the right team, And the thing is, we know there have been pitches for F-Zero. It's not like there hasn't been.
Yeah, exactly.
Thoughts. It's just they haven't greenlit a project, that's actually come out. Right? Nothing's come out yet, but it's not like there hasn't been some thought and effort behind the scenes. Just not enough.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll get Platinum to do something other than Bayonetta and Astral Chain.
Oh, well, we got Astral Chain now too.
Oh God. So. Best game. I'm worried about that. I hope. I'm worried because the amount of people that left Platinum. That's what worries me, really. The amount of people that left them. Are they even the same? That worries me a lot. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they're so talented. I love Platinum games. They're putting my second, or the developer I've loved most other than Nintendo since like Rare or something. I
want to talk about something before we close out.
Yes.
So a little bit. There's some chats I got to get through.
Yes.
But just a quick summary. So we're expecting some Nintendo rumor news tomorrow from Nate the Hate. We'll see what it is, right? We'll see, right? Nationals is suggesting something big is getting announced in April, and we'll see it come out in summer. Then we're waiting a generation for 3D Mario or Star Fox are the ones that come to mind. I don't know. Maybe it is F-Zero. Bro, what is F-Zero? Whatever. I'd be so happy about that.
We would have said
I'd be so happy about that. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy regardless. Any of those would be thrilled.
Yeah, man.
3D Mario doesn't feel like a summer release though, which would be shocking. But if it is, what comes out in the holiday? Zelda? Oh, 1-2 punch, baby. Let's go. Grand Theft who? Grand Theft you.
This will be like whenever I do a podcast with Nash and he says things and people say that I say it, right? But you'll say all the stuff and they'll be like, oh my God, ATB was on the podcast and he said this. I didn't say shit.
Bro, we're just having fun. We're just having fun speculating. If you're not listening and thinking critically, you should. Anyway, that's just kind of like a summary, right? Star Fox is coming back. Something that I didn't get to, and this is not the thing I want to talk about before we close out. But so I got to be careful here because there have been spoilers about the movie out there from like ratings and stuff. But I'm just saying, if you've listened to my conversations with ATB or if you've seen some of my Mario Galaxy movie theory videos, based off some ratings leaks, they're spot on. And it's interesting that we talked about, I don't know if you've been on live with me since that last conversation, but you know, we talked about how, hey, like you were like, hey man, like, you know, like what was it exactly? Like you were asking me about the Rosalina.
Oh yes,
Pikmin short. The Pikmin short connection, and I'm like, I don't know. And I told you, it's like, hey, I see where you're coming from, but I needed a little bit more.
Yeah,
we got the little bit more.
Yeah.
We got what's actually crazy. We got the little bit more. I theorized, and then we got a lot bit more. So the little bit more was that on Mario Day they released a Switch 2 edition trailer for Mario Wonder, and I spotted that the nighttime Pikmin were in a scene that they added to a Mario Wonder level alongside Rosalina. It was like, oh wait, that's literally Pikmin next to Rosalina, and your idea is like, hey, what if that baby in that Pikmin short last year is actually Rosalina?
Yeah.
Now we have a little Pikmin Rosalina connection, and we thought, oh, is this kind of like a teaser for the movie in some subtle way, right? And so now there's more meat to that. But also on Mario Day, the Mario Galaxy Movie Direct, Chris Meledandri teased there was going to be more surprises. Some really small, he did this, and some really big, right? So I theorized Pikmin would be in the movie, and that was confirmed a few days later. But then I also saw, oh, well, if Rob was confirmed on Mario Day as well on the Mario Galaxy website, and we're getting Pikmin, and we have that shot that looks like Star Fox, even though it's hard to believe, maybe Star Fox is really in the movie. And that was confirmed, right? Star Fox was confirmed. I've also theorized about the relationship between Peach and Rosalina. I'm not gonna say anymore because I don't want to spoil anything.
Make a video.
I made a video about it.
Okay.
No one watched it because it was a movie video. No one watches the movie videos, but I did make a video. That's not true. People watched it, but it was like 40% of typical viewership, which, you know, it's unfortunate, but it just is what it is. But it looks like all the theories there were, if not 100% on the money, really, really close, dangerously close. Anyway, yeah, Pikmin are in there.
Yeah, man.
They're in the Mario Galaxy movie. So I'm definitely like really curious to see how they're going to explain the origin story of Rosalina.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, but I don't want to say any more because I feel like I'm getting dangerously close to spoiling stuff.
Yeah.
Have
you booked your tickets for the movie?
Not yet. I want to talk to you about that. Not that I think you could watch it with me, but just a personal thing.
Let me look at flights.
Hey, bro, if you come to Miami, please come watch it with me.
I'll go to Miami. Let me tell you.
Yeah. The Watcher 9500 asked, what was the video called? I'll tell you what the video was called.
Perfect.
So if you look, the thumbnail is like it has Peach and Rosalina and a whole bunch of Pikmin and an R-Wing. All right. So yeah, so 2 weeks ago, I made a video. I'll screen share real quick here. So for those that are curious about it. So right here, this one, right? And Nintendo just teased hidden secrets in the Mario Galaxy movie. This one right here, right, where it says exciting hints, that's the one where I kind of do like the grand theory analysis of different things I think about the movie. So there are things there that I don't want to say it's all 100% accurate. I just want to say that there have been potential leaks that seem to suggest that the theories there are really close. Maybe not exactly, but really close. I mean, the Star Fox stuff is already confirmed. That's all different stuff. Like those parts were theorized there. That part's been confirmed already, but there's more. So
Go watch it, people. Hit the hype button as well. No one hits the hype button. Hit the hype button.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stuff.
There's always something that everything is adding. Anyway, so I covered that. I still want to tell you about my something. There's something I want to talk about before I close out. But I feel like I haven't done enough with the chat, so I want to kind of
I got time, definitely. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So Connor asks me and you. So a Curry Planet Robot HD port or a Curry Triple Deluxe First Robot pack for what Nate is going to say if we do a Nintendo Direct on April next month. So it is interesting that Nate had initially heard about this Planet Robot remaster for last year, but I don't doubt that was based off real information. So it's kind of, I think it's just a kind of a question of if. Well, it's actually a question of when, not if. I phrased that incorrectly, right? Which I think is interesting, right? Because recently, we're talking about like Nash Weedle, right? And how like it seems like he's really off because of the whole direct stuff, right? Which, very off with that. But it wouldn't be the first time someone who has reliable sources has been off about timing. So, unfortunately for Nash, because everyone's waiting for a direct, everyone hyper focuses on that. And so he's going to be remembered for being wrong about that, as opposed to all the little things he's been right about, and some big things too. Yeah.
That's why I'm out.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
That's the thing. Yeah, people. Yeah.
By the way, all the Star Fox Pikmin stuff that I've been 100% spot on about, I've been slammed and attacked for it, right?
Beforehand, obviously.
Yeah.
I've seen some of it. I don't understand people.
Or like, for example, I said there would be a Mario Day Direct, probably about the Mario Galaxy movie. That would also have a Yoshi trailer. Maybe the Mario Kart stuff based off of the Mario Kart stuff hasn't been shown off, right? But a lot of what I suggested would likely happen came out. I was brutally attacked for that too. Basically, like a lot of people are just attacking me for talking.
But this is what angers me, though, right? It's because like you're theorizing in videos about what you think, going off information, right? What you're seeing and what you think can mean. It's like why are people offended by this? Like I don't. This is why I always say.
I'll also guarantee you, those people are not apologizing either.
Of course not.
They're not apologizing either.
Of course not. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Like I've said to you many times. If anything, like I value your videos a lot more than what a lot more than what I do, man. Because it takes a lot of work to do what you do, man. Like
ATB does great stuff too, guys. Make sure to follow.
No. Anyone can do my stuff.
Give yourself some credit.
Nah, your stuff takes a lot of work, man, and not just that. And it's I've said this to you loads of times, and it's true. It has a lot of value because you're breaking stuff down and coming up with angles that not everyone thinks about or is aware of initially, right? And so you're enlightening people with a new way of thinking, and it's interesting as well, right? And so there's an art to that, and there's a talent to that. So I don't understand why anyone would get offended by that. It's like surely you want
something else that I do that people get really mad at me for. And I revisit topics, right?
Yeah.
But I don't revisit topics. Like sometimes some people say you've made this same video a million times already. And like, well, I haven't. But if I'm revisiting a topic because either A, there's new information that adds more context to the situation, or B, I've thought of another perspective that I think makes for an interesting discussion. And so, topics are going to get revisited. So every time I've thought of a new angle for the Ocarina of Time remake or new evidence presents itself, I'm going to talk about that, right? Or for example, the Star Fox stuff. Every time there was a new perspective or there was some new evidence that came up, I talked about it. There's been a handful of Star Fox related videos because it was anticipated, it was theorized that this would happen, right? And so there was updates on that stuff. And so that's what I do. But I think a lot of people like who don't actually listen, right? Who are just looking for like the headline, that's kind of missed. But
but it's really interesting, dude, man, because I think most people, me included, like, you know, we'll see a trailer about a trailer for a game I'm really excited about, and I'll probably watch it 2 or 3 times, maybe a few more times after that. But you're watching, but you're not looking, right? When you, or most people watch a trailer, don't look at it. And so I remember your videos breaking down the Tears of the Kingdom trailers. I remember them really well, actually. So I remember you breaking down things by frame and circling things in the background that you've seen, right? You know, characters or whatever, and theorizing about what could be the armor you've seen in another shot. And you think, man, but that's so interesting that you literally break down every frame and you turn, I don't know, a 2-minute trailer into like a half-an-hour video, and it's like, and it's all stuff that's been pointed out. Like,
I can turn a 10-second. I can turn 10 seconds into 20 minutes.
Honestly, but that's so cool though, man. And I think people need to stop and think like how much work that takes to research.
For Zelda. If it has to be for Zelda, Metroid, or 3D Mario.
Yeah.
Others, it's a little harder for me to do.
Pacopia.
I can't. But I keep that in mind. There's a couple of things I need to do before I end the stream. It's related to what you said about Pacopia, but it's not. Okay, it is and it isn't. So don't let me forget before we close out. And yes, I'm going to show Ruby. But I just feel like I haven't done a good job of addressing the chat. So I'm just kind of trying to scroll through, see if there's any.
Yeah, so we keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah, any final things you want me to kind of talk about real quick? Put it in the chat right now. I'm going to check. I'm just scrolling through, trying to see the ads. All right, so 8 Liays had asked earlier, please, could you guys give me your honest thoughts about Twilight Princess getting a proper HD remake for Switch 2 this year or the next? I'm just so mad at Nintendo, nearly 9 years of wait. So I feel like we've kind of somewhat touched on this.
I've leaked it, apparently.
Apparently, but not a remake. Not a remake.
That's right. Yeah.
Not a remake. Yeah. Just what we got on Wii U, slightly adapted for Switch.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, yeah. I'm just amazed it's not out already. Like, I'll be honest, I would have thought by now. I'm amazed it wasn't on Switch. I'm just amazed. And so, like, every year, I'm like, I
hearing about these for years. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, sorry. No, I was just saying, I assume like it's. Forget me or what I've heard. Loads of people have said, you know, they know that these games are just there, waiting to be released. I don't know what for, but so they are clearly there. The fact that it hasn't come up until today means they must have some kind of plan for them, I guess, other than we'll just wait for the right time. I feel like they've got to have something in mind. But this year, like, I mean, it's the anniversary, right? It would be a cool. It'd be like an obvious thing to do and minimal work. So I don't know anything other than, you know, I've heard that they exist. So my opinion is that I would guess so. I would guess that we see them this year. You know, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
I said this early in the year, and I'm going to just repeat, right? What I've said is this. If we're ever going to see Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, right? Like, I'm not saying they can't be remade in the future. But I'm not talking about remakes. Like, I think people get lost on that. So many people interchange those, and I understand. But when I say remake, I mean like that's like something that's visually rebuilt to look like a modern game.
Yeah.
Right. We're not talking about that. We're talking about getting what we got on Wii U. Slightly adapted, maybe minutely enhanced, like a higher resolution, maybe better frame rate. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it, right? But in regards to those, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, if we're ever going to see those Wii U games adapted for Switch and Switch 2, it's going to happen this year. If it does not happen this year, I have 100% completely given up on them. But I mean, quite frankly, I've already given up on them for the most part. But if there's a year that they're going to happen, this would be the year. And what's interesting, similar to Mario Galaxy 2, how it was a real head scratcher that it wasn't part of 3D All-Stars for the 35th anniversary. The only reason it made sense was because they already knew that they were going to have Yoshi in the next movie. Galaxy 2 has Yoshi, and they wanted to save that as part of the 40th anniversary, which is literally exactly what happened. We theorized about it for like a couple years. And so, you know, we've heard about Twilight Princess Wind Waker HD from different insiders, people who have proven to know things, right? So, like, I say proven to know things. I know people are gonna be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. They are respected journalists that have reported on this, right? But it's been talked about for years with no announcement, and it's a real head scratcher unless Nintendo saved them for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
The specific purpose would be for the 40th anniversary and lead up to marketing for the live action Zelda movie, which it may sound really familiar to you because it sounds a lot like how Nintendo's been handling the Mario Galaxy movie. That's the only avenue where I see it making sense. And by the way, I mentioned the whole 3D All-Stars, Zelda 3D All-Stars thing. That makes more sense to me now when I think about, if we're going to get Wind Waker, they already put out Wind Waker on GameCube Classics last year, and the Ocarina of Time somehow is also coming out. Like, that's the only way it makes sense to me. But anyways, to answer your question about a Twilight Princess HD remake, I think what we have to be talking about here, like the avenue to get a remake, right? Not a remaster, a remake, right? And by the way, it wouldn't be just an HD remake by this. It would be a 4K remake or a 1440p remake or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way that the pathway for that happening wouldn't be anytime soon, in my opinion. This remaster from Wii U this year, right? But for a big boy remake, something that looks kind of like that tech demo on Wii U, but better, because obviously that was years ago at this point, right? Would be if Nintendo is truly adopting this reimagined remake process, right? Where we start with Ocarina of Time, the first 3D Zelda, then maybe they do. When that happens, that opens the door for Majora's Mask, and then after that, I don't know if they want to go back to Wind Waker because of how timeless the style is, but Twilight Princess, because Nintendo's never handled that in house. Remember, that was outsourced to Tantalus.
Yeah.
So it was. Most people consider it less quality than Wind Waker HD.
Yeah.
Not the game itself, but the remastering effort. I would say I would predict that Nintendo would then move on to Twilight Princess. So what needs to happen is the reimagined remake of Ocarina of Time, then Majora's Mask, then Twilight Princess, in my opinion. And what I find fascinating about this, by the way, because I've drawn a lot of comparisons to Square Enix and Capcom.
Yeah.
You look at how they handle their remake series, kind of lines up, right? Like the Final Fantasy VII remake series, they turn into a trilogy, right? With Capcom, they're like, all right, well, let's remake. We remade Resident Evil 2. Oh, okay, let's remake 3. Oh, let's remake 4. And so, I think if we get that Ocarina of Time level of remake, that opens the door for others, and Nintendo will start to do that as a way to fill in the gaps between these super long development cycles for new open air Zelda. That's the pathway, but that would also mean a very long time. However, again, Twilight Princess HD from Wii U. This is our last chance. AGB just heard about it.
I was just thinking. It's like 3:30 a.m. I'm gonna message my source right after this podcast and I'm like,
say it's canceled.
What did you mean about Twilight Princess? When you mentioned it, what did you mean?
But hey, let me just say, I will gladly be wrong if they're remaking Twilight Princess in a big boy kind of way. I mean, remake any of the 3D Zeldas in a big boy kind of way. I'd be stoked. Yeah. And Twilight Princess would be epic. Also, I think Twilight Princess, honestly, it's a game that it's an incredible game, but it's a game that I think could be even better with some tweaks. Like, I think they need to adjust the difficulty. I think they need to make enemies smarter. It's too easy.
Twilight.
Yeah. The boss design in Twilight Princess is maybe the best in the series.
Oh, the bosses, my god.
But the boss design.
Design,
the boss difficulty
is
pathetic.
It's
actually really jarring to me how easy these bosses are. Based on, like, it's kind of like, like, imagine you're fighting a giant monstrous gorilla in real life. You blow on it and it just keels over. Right? Like, to me, that's kind of the Twilight Princess experience. I'm exaggerating a little because there's some effort involved, but like, they're super formulaic and predictable. And dying is, I mean, bro,
how do you do it?
Twilight Princess gets a little difficult if you're playing with only 3 hearts in the final boss. I'll say that gets a little challenging. Still easier than Dark Souls, but the rest of the game is a cakewalk. I don't think it starts to get hard until Zant with just 3 hearts. Like if you skip all the heart containers when you beat a boss, it's still really easy because that's still too much life. Because it's all super predictable. So anyways, like if they were to remake Twilight Princess, I would want them to adjust that. Make the fights more interesting. I think the overall Zelda series needs an overhaul combat-wise. There's a lot of games that draw a lot of inspiration from Breath and Tears, but also have way better combat. And so I think that needs to be reworked. Like Breath of the Wild has cool combat, but it's not with the sword play. I think the sword play, the hand-to-hand, weapon-to-weapon combat, that needs to get overhauled.
100%.
I mean, one of the reasons I fell in love with Zelda was the sword play. Ocarina of Time was epic. It was in a 64 game, right? This is when they were still figuring out 3D games. So back then, that was what they came up with was really cool, and they didn't really that core like combat style didn't really evolve that much.
No.
The most it's ever evolved actually. Wind Waker added the parry, which is really cool. Twilight Princess brought that back in and added 6 or more other cool mechanics, but most of them are useless. You don't need they're superfluous. Like it's so, and that's another kind of like critique I have about Twilight Princess. Like make those worthwhile, make those needed, or make those super useful. And that requires overhauling the combat. Anyway, yeah. That's the whole thing.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah. So guys, on the Twilight Princess Wind Waker HD thing, I just want to caution that, like, ATB, he's very careful about sharing out stuff here, and he shared that out accidentally.
I did, but only because I didn't think it meant anything. Honestly,
Right. Well, that's why you said it, because you didn't think much of it, because it's been leaked for years.
Yeah.
Because you know how my brain is, right? I'm like, wait, hold on a second. The timing makes this kind of a big deal, but that's my own speculation, right? So what I'm trying to say is take this with a grain of salt. This isn't like something's being like he hasn't like really researched this and verified it. Yeah. So please don't turn this into a huge thing. Yeah. Also, how often have we been burned about Twilight Princess and Wind Waker?
That's why I didn't even react to it, because in my head I was like,
but if the wrong people are listening to this,
I know, yeah,
they'll turn it to something else, So
I'll see tomorrow. Like,
please don't, Anyway, I've gone to the last thing. I'll answer this one last thing what Connor added me. So we're gonna get Star Fox Adventures and Star Fox Soft for GameCube and SL. We better. We better. Those are classics for me. That'd be so good. Star Fox Assault with online fire. Star Fox Adventures just could be good. Fire. Anyway, so here's the thing. And I'm gonna show Ruby.
The Watcher says.
Yeah.
Oh God, I got something about Cap. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you in private.
I guess I don't want to make this go too long because I realize we're getting close to 3 hours. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I believe it. We're getting a Super Smash Brothers Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Volume 3 Fighters Pass.
Oh, this year?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to rule it out. This is just speculation, right? This is just speculation. But it's just clicked in my head what you said. Oh, yeah.
Because
the format of Switch 2 Editions is a Switch 2 Edition plus.
Yes.
Expansion, right? And I've just been kind of thinking about a Fighter's Pass. I think Ditto from Pokopia would be a shoe-in. Leon.
I was going to say Leon, surely.
Leon S. Kennedy.
Shoe-in.
Those two. If Nintendo is indeed planning a Metroid Prime 5, Silex is going to be there. They may want to do it just to try and like salvage Prime 4, so Silex.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I think those three to me would make so much sense. I'm still trying to wrap my head about who else would be like make perfect sense for a Fighters Pass Volume 3 and a Switch edition for Smash, but those 3 I'm so sold on happening.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about still Doomslayer, but I don't. I think that's maybe come and gone. I don't know. But dude, the internet. If Leon gets announced in Smash,
bro, Leon sells the Switch edition by himself.
By himself.
Yeah.
Honestly, imagine if it was around the time where the DLC comes out as well for Requiem, and like down the line, like oh my god. I do think they have to do something with Smash Brothers this year because, like you said, they
also
can
like
do it.
I don't think they haven't done any sort of updates for Smash Ultimate yet.
No.
None. No free updates. And Sakurai just finished Kirby Air Riders, so and the way he works on games, he's very, very hands-on. So I don't think a brand new Smash Brothers is close. I think we'll get one during the Switch 2 era. And that may be Sakurai's final Smash Brothers game. But in the meanwhile, they got to tide us over. Like, we're talking about, like, everything that's happening with the Mario Galaxy movie with Rob, Pikmin, and Star Fox. Yes, it does open the door for a Smash Brothers movie. I totally 100% believe it. Yeah. But it's not happening next year, right? This Smash Bros. Movie would take a while. Think about this. The Marvel movies eventually got an Avengers movie, but it took years, right? Like, you had to do the Thor movies, the Iron Man movies, the Captain America movies, right? And so Nintendo's going to need to build up this roster of movies. Eventually, you'll have the Smash Brothers movie, but that's years away. We're talking about probably they may have a plan. They may be like, hey, this next Smash Bros. Game is probably going to take 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
They're probably like this is late. This is mid to late Switch 2 era, I would say. And so you need something else before that point.
Yeah, and they must have had a discussion as well. Like this, Nintendo and Capcom, they've always been really, really, really close, but they are tight on the Switch too. Like Capcom is making stupid amounts of game for the Switch too. Like I saw like earlier, where I see someone on X, was it Dr. A put leak of Devil May Cry 5, which I know like other people have spoken about as well before. We see all the Resident Evils. It's no secret. A lot of people have said it before about Resident Evil, and I've heard about Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 remakes coming to Switch. I heard something about Code Veronica as well. That's no surprise about that coming to Switch as well. And something else from Capcom. Capcom's just all in with Nintendo. So that it seems like such an obvious partnership, and people already talking about it, and it would be incredible. Oh man, it'd just be so good. It'd be so good. I'd love it. Yeah, I could see it as well. I could see it. And again, it buys them more time while they're making, the big projects that they're working on, and it just it's just something else to have there to get people would be genuinely excited about as well. It wouldn't just be seen as like, oh, another Switch 2 edition. No, people would be crazy excited for it, and it's an easy thing to do. So, oh man,
I would love it if in this April Direct they announce it, right? And because what I miss is remember we would like theorize about every character, right?
Yeah.
They announced like 6 characters for Volume 3.
Oh yeah.
And every couple of months they reveal one.
Yeah,
Like, who are they? They'll reveal one when they announce the edition in an April Direct, right? But then every 2 months they'll reveal another, and until it comes out like maybe like November or December or something.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Dude, fun. Man, Leon fighting King K. Rool.
But the thing is, Leon has the ultimate parry with the axe now. Like Leon has a super moveset. Like he's got freaking the Requiem, right? Like maybe that's his final smash, or that'd be so cool. He has all the roundhouse kicks, the suplexes. He's got all the grapples, right? He's got the melee attacks. He's got the axe. Like he's got the parry. And then there's a wide array of weapons. The RPG they can pull from older Resident Evil games, right? They could use the shocker thing.
Oh, you got the rocket launch. He's got to have a rocket launch.
Yeah, the RPG exactly.
Yeah.
The TMP, obviously a hand like And it's not like they've already crossed the gun boundary. Like you got Snake, you have Joker, you have Bayonetta.
Bayonetta,
so guns are not an issue in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
Plus, also the way Leon fights, it's not just gun gameplay. It's axe plus roundhouse kicks and suplexes and being a badass. So also another thing, the internet's really been buying into his one-liners. I want to hear those one-liners in Smash.
Yeah.
And that would be super cool because you know how like there was a couple characters they'll like they'll put way too much effort in to add like some like background dialogue for, like they did it for like Kid Icarus for Pit, right? And they also did it for Snake. It'd be amazing if they did it for Leon. Like Leon has a one-liner for every single character in the game.
Oh man.
Oh, it'd be so good. That would be the dream.
Yeah, that would be the one. That man, dude. Honestly, people would buy a Switch for that, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I would.
You know, like die-hard Resident Evil fans, like, oh mate, this is no way you don't get it. Yeah, I'd love it. I see it as well. Yeah, because like you said, I don't think we'll get like a mainline one for years.
Ooh, and by the way, for stage, I think it would have to be the Raccoon City, police station.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say about the police station. Oh man.
Yeah. You could maybe do the mansion, right? Because that's iconic Resident Evil. But Leon's not. It never goes to the mansion.
No.
Right. But the Raccoon City police station is still really popular, right? And to make it interesting, Mr. X is a boss character in the stage. What's cool about Mr. X? Like, he's not like other Resident Evil bosses that are too grotesque for Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
He's just a really intimidating, giant, pale-looking, bald dude with veiny, right? So, like you can make him a boss character in the stage to make it interesting.
Yeah, I was just thinking like a stage of like some liquors running around.
Liquors. I actually would. I think you could. I don't think they will, but I think they could get away with it.
I don't know if they would.
Yeah,
that might be a bit.
I think Mr. X is probably enough. But what's cool about Mr. X is that because the way you could design a stage, you could design because you know how there's a staircase, right? You can design the top platforms, the bottom platforms, and Mr. X can kind of follow you around. Like they can give you a little bit of that Resident Evil 2 love, right? And also, I think didn't you talk about? Was it you? The Resident Evil 2, 3, 4 remake. I mean, a few people have.
A few people have, but I had heard about it. Yeah, I'd heard about it in the. When was in the direct that had the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC? Do you remember that direct? Oh yeah, and they showed Requiem. They showed Requiem at the end of the direct, and then 7 and 8. Yeah, I'd heard a couple of weeks before then about 2, 3, and 4 will come in there, but I've recently heard about Code Veronica, but I don't think that's a surprise either to anyone really. They got Requiem.
Code Veronica, so I'm really excited for when that gets remade.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you backstage.
Yeah. We got to end the stream. Anyway, I just it's been this has been on my mind lately, so I just wanted to bring it up. But thank you everyone for coming by. You got anything you're working on, man? You want to talk about?
What am I doing? You know what? I haven't done anything on my channel for about 3 weeks now, just because I'm going on holiday next month, and I've been working like 6-day weeks just to like get overtime and save money. But I have been working on that video, talking about Nintendo releasing a game at the same time as GTA. So hopefully that'll be up in a couple of days. I'm probably going to do a podcast in a few days after that. I may address any updates on the what I'm hearing about possible direct. We'll see. But yeah, so yeah, I'll be getting back to just doing the news and some takes and some podcasts. So but let me say massive thank you to you. As I always say, like, it's always a massive honor for me to be here with you, and to everyone in the chat. You guys are always super kind and awesome with me, so thank you so much to everyone in the chat as well. And just thank you as always, my friend.
Yeah, man. I'm always happy to have you. At this point, I've only been doing discussions with you lately, so yeah. But it's always a pleasure. So
always, man, always.
All right. Well, hopefully we get some pretty cool Nintendo news soon. But it was a good time, guys. See. Oh wait! I almost forgot. I gotta show Ruby. I gotta show Ruby.
I should get my cat now.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, let me find my fat cat as well.
Hey. Showtime, lady. When you're so cuddly, you don't want to even get up. Come on. Hey, here you are. I got you. Don't worry. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Uh-oh. She's gonna jump. I need to.
My fat.
I need to. There's that beauty.
Say hello. Say hello. Hello. Oh, proper little fatty. Eats too much, eh? So, wonder if they spot each other in the camera. I'm trying to see if my cat.
She's not feeling it right now.
Oh, mine's like super sleepy. Let me let her down gently. There you go. There you go. Oh, let me show. Let me show you what I got briefly.
Sure.
There's a game that I love. I don't know if you've played it, but I love it. And my wife bought me the special edition of it, and there's 2 games, and it's Grease and Never. I don't know if you ever played it, but this is I need to go further back. This is the box set.
Is it a video game?
It's the one of them's called Grease, and the other one's called Never. It's especially Never is like one of the best indie games I've ever played. It's incredible, like side-scrolling platforming, beautiful music. But like in the box set, dude, oh my god, I don't know how much he spent. But hold on, we've got the two games. That one, that's Never. This is the best one in Greece.
Beautiful art.
Oh, dude, honestly, you gotta get them. And then like the steel covers as well. There's like a vinyl, a book with like 100 pages. Oh my god, dude! But like anyone who hasn't played them, highly recommend Never specifically. Beautiful, beautiful game. Recommend to you, Andres.
Never.
Oh,
cool.
Amazing.
I'll look it up. Cool. Right. That's beautiful art. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm showing the kitty streams. Well, the kitties were a part of the stream. I'll keep Neva in mind.
Yes.
It was a great discussion. I checked in with the chat, but I'll call it a night now. Oh, not the refresh. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got to end this poll. So, by the way, the poll, 66% of you feel, we got 79 votes, feel that Nintendo could tease an Ocarina of Time reimagined for Switch 2 shortly after announcing a Zelda 3D All-Stars compilation that would even include the older Ocarina of Time. Well, I hope you guys are right. We'll see what happens. But that's all for now, everyone. Have a good one.